Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ilẹ̀ bàbá wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú bàbá wa, ká jùmọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè tó dúdú àga. Odùduwà tó bá lè gbé wá, ọmọ Odùduwà ṣe kiri. Ẹ dìde fún ẹ̀tọ́ wọ̀, ká lè jọ jùmọ̀ gbé ilẹ̀ ìlérí. Àwa lè gba ògo ilẹ̀ wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè jọ gbàdé, ká lè gbàdé adé adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni mọ̀lẹ́ ọ̀tàn káàkiri. Ọmọ Odùduwà ni wá. Koiki Media, àwa là ń gbétò lárugẹ. Ètò tó pọ̀jù ògbó tí wọ́n mọ̀ ní. Kásá. Ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wa káyé kó gbá ayé jẹ. Ètò tó pọ̀jù ògbó tí wọ́n mọ̀ ní. À ń gbétò lárugẹ, à ń kásá lárugẹ. Ètò tó pọ̀jù ògbó tí wọ́n mọ̀ ní. News and sports, ẹ máa rí gbọ́. Ètò tó pọ̀jù ògbó tí wọ́n mọ̀ ní. Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi ló ní kí n máa gé tantan. Koiki Media, ọ̀rọ̀ lágbájú mọ̀ mi. Má bá ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà o. Àgbàdo rẹ̀, ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi. Ṣé ìlú ọmọ fìdí bọ̀ tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ o? Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa dé máa dé máa dé. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀ máa wọ̀ máa wọ̀ o. Igbó máa wọ̀ lájòjì ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ̀. Àjòjì tó bá wọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ á tẹ̀lé ní ẹbọra. Ẹ̀yin lọ máa náwó òyìnbó tó dé. Ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o. Owó nàdẹ́ tún pọ̀ sí o. Koiki Media, sáwa ní bàbá. Koiki Media, àwọn ní bàbá. Koiki Media, àwọn ní bàbá. Àdàsọ, àtúnpèrè.
And a very good evening and welcome once again. A kú ìsinmi ní ọjọ́ Sunday, a kú ìsinmi.
Àwa là ń gbétò lárugẹ jẹ́ ká jọgbọ́.
Níbo ni President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wà on a private visit to London? Ǹjẹ́ President lè máa move kí aráàlú má mọ ibi tó wà?
Àkùnjàfẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa, fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ọmọ Odùduwà ni wá o.
Kí ni bọ́jẹ̀tì local government ọ̀dọ̀ tiẹ̀? Ǹjẹ́ ó lè sọ ti local government ẹ wà? Àníṣe Yoruba nation, no going back, no going back. Àníṣe ǹjẹ́ Rishi Sunak lè travel out of UK kó má dágbére ibi tó ń lọ fún wa? Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí èní ní 25th of June 2023. Afẹ́fẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ tó ń kan igi lára igi pọ̀ ládùúgbò mi níbí báyìí, ó ní iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe. Mo kí Ìgbòho Òòṣà ìmọ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá. Màmá lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, màmá kí bàbá wa Oracle Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, mo kí bàbá mi Chief Bánjí Ayílóge, ẹ kú ìtọ́jú, ẹ kú gbogbo gbà. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, mo kí gbogbo àwọn bàbá àwọn ìyá tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun pé kírìn àjò Yorùbá nation kó lè ṣeé ṣe. Àní private visit tán ní Tinubu wá apá abo gangan ló wà ní London. Ìgbà wo ló ń padà sí Nàìjíríà? Ta ló wá pàdé gangan? Kí ni ìpàdé yẹn dá lé lórí? Nígbà táwọn wo bọ́jẹ̀tì ti Kwara State lánàá, ó sọ pé 189 billion naira. Ǹjẹ́ yẹn ká local government kan, ká má sọ pé 16 local government. mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí gbogbo àwọn ẹgbẹ́ YSDM, mo kí gbogbo ìlànà ní Canada, ní Amẹ́ríkà, ní Nàìjíríà. Èmi náà ni Ọláyọmí Kóìkì tí gbogbo yín mọ̀ sí Kóìkì Media. Mo kí gbogbo yín pé ẹ kú sí mi ní wẹ́dà yẹn kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀. Mo kí àwọn ìyàwó mi, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kí àwọn ọmọ alálùbáríkà, mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ, mo kí gbogbo àwọn ẹgbẹ́ àsàlátù, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti lọ ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì lénìí. Ṣé dáadáa ni ẹ bá ìsìn tí ẹ lọ ṣe lénìí? A máa ní àbọrú àbọyè fáwọn tí tiwantiwa. To give us. Àníṣe níbo ni Tinubu wà ní London àbí ó ti padà ní, torí pé n ta gbọ́ ni pé kò kúrò láti Paris lọ Nàìjíríà, wọ́n ló ń darí bọ̀ ní London fún private visit. Afẹ́fẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ tó ń kangi lára. Àníṣe ìlú London tí Bọ́lá Tinubu náà wá, òun lèmi náà wà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí. Kí ló wá ṣe nílùú London? Ta ló wá pàdé? Kí ni ìrìn àjò náà? Ṣó dálé lórí Yorùbá nation ni àbó dálé lórí Nàìjíríà? Àbó dálé lórí pé ó wá yẹrẹ wò gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹni tí a mọ̀ pé ó ń tọ́jú ara ẹ̀ náà díẹ̀díẹ̀. Àwọn kan ní Yorùbá nation ti kú, mo nírọ̀lẹ́ pàṣẹ. Yorùbá nation a ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ a ṣe wọ gear 3 ni, a ṣe lọ sí gear 5. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire níbikíbi tẹ́ bá wà, níbi tí Ọlọ́run ní pé kẹ́ máa ṣẹ̀mí, tẹ́mi máa mí sí yín lára. Ojú ọ̀run tọ̀run fò, òun náà ni ìbí ṣe ń wo báyìí. Ilé tèmi ń wò níbí, òun náà ló dé Nàìjíríà, òun ló dé Amẹ́ríkà, òun ló dé Australia, òun ló dé Japan, òun ló dé New Zealand. Tó bá ń wò lókè báyìí, àwọn ẹyẹ kan wà, ó nígbà kan tó máa ń káàkiri wá lọ Áfíríkà. Tó bá kúrò láfíríkà, ẹyẹ kan ló ń fò yẹn, ẹyẹ àdàbà, wọ́n máa ń káàkiri nítorí wọn. Wọ́n ń dúró sójú kan, wọ́n ń dúró sójú kan. Mo kí ìjáyà, mo kí gbogbo Yorùbá World Media, ẹ kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun. Yorùbá Nation àná ń tẹ̀síwájú ni, kò sẹ́ni tó lè panú ẹ̀. Ẹyẹ ló ń fò káàkiri, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bàálù wà lókè, plane kan ló ń lọ yìí, Ọlọ́run ló mọ ibi tó ń lọ. Ìkan tún wà lókè ẹ̀, ìkan wà nísàlẹ̀. Bóyá iṣẹ́ fi land ni, airport kan súnmọ́ mi náà, airport súnmọ́ mi bí méjì ni, àmọ́ ibi tó ti ń bọ̀, àmọ́ ibi tó ń lọ. Àníṣe ọkọ̀ Yorùbá Nation ó ń fò lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́, ó máa débi tó ń lọ. Ibi tó ń gbà ló dàbí kó fẹ́ pẹ́, ó máa débi tó ń lọ. Ó máa gúnlẹ̀ ayọ̀ lágbára Elédùmarè, nítorí pé Tinubu ò ní sí níbẹ̀ after 2031, ìyẹn tó bá rí 8 years yẹn ṣe délẹ̀. Mo gbọ́ Fẹ́mi Akínwùmí ní Paris, ó sọ̀rọ̀ tó dùn rẹpẹtẹ, ẹnu ẹ̀ dùn tọ̀tọ̀tọ̀tọ̀tọ̀tọ̀tọ̀tọ̀tọ̀. Ó ní gbogbo tí Tinubu máa ṣe, ṣó máa rí ṣe ní 8 years. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà tó bá rí ṣe tán, ǹjẹ́ wọ́n lè maintain ẹ̀ lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí Tinubu bá ṣe ìjọba tiẹ̀ tán? Ẹ̀yin náà máa gbẹ́ tí atẹ́gùn ń fẹ́ àwọn igi yẹn, ó ń lọ báyìí, ó ń lọ báyìí. Àwọn igi tó dáa ni, olùfiṣẹ́ ń wò níwájú, ó green nípa ni, kò ń ṣe bí ti Nàìjíríà. Mo kí ẹ ń bẹ̀ Àkàlàmàgò TV káàbọ̀ sórí ètò, níbi tí mo ti rọra jókòó pẹ̀lú mímí lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ níbí báyìí, pé ká tètè ṣe kílẹ̀ tó ṣú. Àníṣe tó bá ń wá nípa international level, nínú international and foreign relationship, ní policy, orí bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ti máa gbọ́. Mo farabalẹ̀, mo gbọ́ ohun tí Akínwùmí, the president of African Development Bank, ó sọ̀rọ̀ tó pọ̀, ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ, ọ̀rọ̀ tó ní làákàyè ni. Àníṣe ṣé Tinubu lè implement gbogbo ẹ̀ in 8 years? 4 years lọ ní máa dárúkọ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, tèmi yàtọ̀ sí tiwọn, tàwọn yàtọ̀ sí tèmi, iṣẹ́ kan náà ni gbogbo àjọ ń ṣe. Àwa ìrìn àjò Yorùbá Nation ni o. Àwa ń ṣe NTA wà ní Saudi Arabia, ó náà fẹ́ sọ ń pa fún wa, wọ́n tẹ ẹgbẹ́ àwọn kan lọ sí Mecca, kí ló dé? àṣà tèmi yàtọ̀ bẹ́mi ṣe máa ń ṣe yàtọ̀ kò sẹ́ni tó lè dánwò tó bá dánwò á dán tán ibi tẹ́mi bá fẹ́ lọ ìwọ lè má lè débẹ̀ nítorí pé àyà mi kí dáadáa bíi tìgbòho náà ni èdè tẹ́mi fi ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ ó yàtọ̀ nítorí pé Yorùbá mi lè má dán mọ́rán àníṣe ní ti English ó dán mọ́rán dáadáa kò sóyìnbó tí mo lè bá sọ̀rọ̀ kò sóyìnbó tí mo lè sọ mo lè má ní PhD mo lè má ní master àná àwọn tó ní kí ló fi ń ṣe òun ìrìn àjò tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ lé mo rí tó ń ṣe program kan lórí channels ó sọ òyìnbó tàtàtàtàtàtà small scale business kìíní kan business wọ́n sọ gbogbo ẹ̀ mo wá ń sọ síra mi lọ́kàn pé àwọn olóbùkú intẹ́tí ń sọ láti 1999 kò ní development kankan tó ṣe fún ọmọ Yorùbá kankan àbáwọn ọmọ Ìgbò àbáwọn Haúsá ẹni bá wo channels television mo ní ẹ̀yẹn fílẹ̀ fẹ́ mẹ́yẹ́ kèmí báyìí lọ máa snoop around Snoop Doggy I don't know how to Snoop Doggy ta ló rántí Snoopy Snoop Doggy Snoop Doggy àwọn olóòbùkú bó ṣe máa ní Victoria Island ló ti ṣe pàdé ẹ̀ lẹ́ni lórí Channels Television waste of time waste of money waste of resources it does not matter kò sí òyìnbó tó lè sọ níbẹ̀ tó máa mú àṣeyọrí kankan wá mo kí ẹ ń bẹ̀ ní Miami Azeez kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ a ṣe fẹ́ wọnú agbami ètò ní ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ mú ìdílé nǹkan àwọn kan ní ẹ fìdílé nǹkan bóun ẹ kò má fìdílé nǹkan kan tó bá ti ṣubú wá dìde náà ni ẹ já wá gbá sí anthem wa ká tó máa tẹ̀síwájú torí pé ìyẹn gangan ni ìrìn àjò tiwa wọ́n máa polówó advert ibi tí YouTube ti ń jẹ́wọ́ nìyẹn kódà bọ̀bọ́ kan tí mo ní òun ló ń jẹ ní sùúrù òun ló ń jẹ́wọ́ jù lórí YouTube YouTuber ló ń pè wọ́n pè ní Mr Beast $53 million ló ń jẹ lórí YouTube òun náà dẹ̀ máa ń ṣe àánú gan lọ Google ẹ̀ $53 million lówó tó ń jẹ òun nìkan is the highest paid on YouTube because of his content ó wá náwọn kan jí content òun lò ó ní tóun bá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ ṣe làwọn kan tún máa ń jí lò àtayébáyé nìyẹn bàbá òun ò bá fìyẹn sílẹ̀ ó náà tẹ̀ ti fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ náà ó ní gbogbo content tóun ń ṣe ó náà máa ń jí lò ní nítorí pé tí wọ́n bá ní ìwọ ọgbọ́n ẹlòmínà tún recreate tó bá ń ṣe but ìyàtọ̀ tó kọ̀ wá ń bẹ̀ ni pé wọ́n lè má lè gẹ́tẹ̀ bí wọ́n ṣe fẹ́ ṣe báwọn bá rò pé ó máa jáde nínú kitchen wá sọ fún wa pé ò ní jáde nínú kitchen tó bá rò pé inú software ló ti fẹ́ jáde wá sọ fún wa pé ò ní jáde nínú software ìyàtọ̀ tó wà láàrin gbogbo wa nìyẹn ìyàtọ̀ tó wà láàrin gbogbo wa bẹ́mi ṣe máa gbé kalẹ̀ ó yàtọ̀ sí báwọn olómi ṣe máa gbé kalẹ̀ ó wá ní Ọlọ́run ló yọ òun náà ó ní wọ́n fi submersible ẹ máa ń tàbọn submersible ìyẹn ọkọ̀ tó wọnú abẹ́ omi tó padà sókè kábíyèsí Elédùmarè èèyàn á máa sá fómi gan nígbà míì ẹlòmíì ò kì í wẹ̀ nítorí ẹ̀rù omi á máa bà á mo sá fún mi ju kí ló dálẹ̀ lọ Bar Beach mo ń ṣeré omi àwọn kan wá náà fẹ́ lọ sábẹ́ omi 12,500 feet wọ́n fẹ́ lọ kọlu omi nísàlẹ̀ wọn mọ tó ń bẹ lábẹ́ omi àǹjọ̀nú ń bẹ ibi tó bá mọ̀ dé ni nǹkan ń bẹ lágbàáyé tó ń fò káàkiri tó ní rí wọ́n wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ mi báyìí nǹkan ń bẹ àwọn oníṣètùtù àwọn lọ based on science ọkàn yẹn ti lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ rí tó padà sókè ó wá fẹ́ lọ ilé ó go wrong Mr Beast yẹn ká tó play anthem ó ní wọ́n fi lọ́hùn náà 7 minutes past 7 p.m. a máa ní 7 minutes past 1900 hours àwa máa ń lo 24 hours clock ó ní wọ́n fi lọ́hùn náà pé ṣóun náà níṣó kóun náà lọ sábẹ́ omi onímọ̀ àtọ́ sọ fún òun ní gbogbo nǹkan lòun lè fi ṣeré pa but tábẹ́ omi yẹn no ẹja gbáǹtẹ̀ mọ̀ ń bára bọ̀. Iṣẹ́ wà orílẹ̀-èdè a ní ká gbéga ìgbàgbọ́ bí a ti bí ẹrú ẹ máa jẹ́ ká máa tẹ̀síwájú tó bá ti ní ó sú wa fún Yorùbá nation ní pé tó a sì ń ṣiṣẹ́ lọ náà ni ó lè dọ̀la ó lè dọ̀túnla ó lè di next year ìgbàkigbà tó bá dé adébá gbogbo wa náà ni tá a bá wá fi ìṣọ̀kan ṣe a máa dìlé ìjọ nìyẹn àwọn nǹkan ọ̀fẹ́ ìṣọ̀kan yẹn báwa ṣe ń tẹ̀síwájú àwọn kan fà sẹ́yìn nítorí pé wọ́n náà fẹ́ Nàìjíríà wọ́n ní Tinubu máa ṣe Tinubu wà ní London nísìnyí kò sẹ́nì kankan tó mọ ibi tó wà ìyẹn ó di president ẹ̀yin ọmọ dúdú ẹ̀ dìde 8 years ní Tinubu ní ó kọ́kọ́ ní 4 years ó sì máa padà wá láti wá béèrè 4 years àwa ní ìmọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo àgbáyé tó ń wò lókè báyìí wọ́n ń dúró dè wá àwa ní ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Good evening and welcome to the live transmission. Ó dà pé mo ń rí èèyàn kan ní account details back end team mi busy ní simple máa wò tí bá lè mú jáde máa send ẹ̀ síbẹ̀ First Bank. Èmi Ọláyọmí Kóìkì náà ni mo fẹ́ dìde tẹ́lẹ̀ ni pé kẹsẹ̀ mi lè kí lè stretch ẹsẹ̀ mi ẹ jẹ́ kí n stretch ẹsẹ̀ yẹn díẹ̀ tí bá dẹ̀ fi pé mo fẹ́ jókòó màá wá padà jókòó màá adjust camera yẹn má worry ẹ jẹ́ ká adjust ẹ̀ báyìí ẹ jẹ́ wọ́n á sún Dizzy 123 mo kí ẹ Azeez kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ lọ́hùn shout out to you man all the way Miami mo bá wá kí ẹ ẹni bá ní mo ní wá sí Amẹ́ríkà òun ni mo ní bá kí n tó kúrò London wọ́n ní mo ní wọ Nàìjíríà mo bá gbéra ní 2021 àyà àwọn àyàn já pé kí ni bàbá yìí wá ṣe nílé pẹ̀lú gbogbo ariwo tó ti ń pa nílùú London mo ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo pariwo torí pé ariwo tó wà constructive lèmi ń pa kò yẹ nísìn àwa sójà kékeré 1 2 3 4 àwa sójà kékeré tó bá tẹ̀yẹ pé aṣọ ìlọ́run fún àwọn mo tẹ̀ ní láti dárúkọ wọn ó ti yé yín wàláì kọ́ gbélé débẹ̀ kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ anywhere tí bá wọ̀ ní Nàìjíríà báyìí pé bàbá yìí ti dé oníwàhálà no a kì í ṣe violent a máa lọ with diplomacy pẹ̀lú Tinubu tó bá dé stage kan how are you mo gbọ́ my phone okay ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ mo ṣì ní spare phone kan ọmọ Oòduà thank you how are you I love you n tẹ̀wọ̀n kó mo ṣì ní spare phone kan àwa sójà kékeré 1 2 3 go ẹ wá lọ rán aṣọ intersport fún àwọn ọmọ ọlọ́mọ mad people all over the place kẹtẹ sọ fún wa pé irú eléyìí lẹ fẹ́ ká bá yín rà ká send ẹ sílé ẹ wá lọ rán aṣọ intersport torí pé mo gbé logo mi lé lórí torí pé press torí àwọn ọjọ́ kan wà àwọn reportage kan wà tí àwọn máa ṣe bígbà tó bá lọ sí Russia ìyá mi Teresa attention fẹ́yìn attention ó yẹ pèsè fún mi ó yẹ pèsè bí ìyá yẹn mo fi dárúkọ gbogbo wọn wà relevant ó yẹ pèsè ta ló máa pèsè fún mi 1 2 3 go chest out chest in breathe out breathe in left arm and your right arm and give salute to everybody on the Facebook. Give salute to everybody on the Instagram. Give salute to everybody on the YouTube. Salute for me love. Shout out to those of you on the Twitter. I didn't give you salute. All the way on the Twitter. I salute you now. This one is for Professor Oraku Adebanji Akintoye. Attention, Baba. We love you. We stand with you, Gidigba. When you call the media, you call us. Press, anytime. We educate the people. We tell them about Yoruba Nation. And we do like this. We listen and wait for instruction. If you don't wait for instruction, you'll be in problem. We are not fighting the government. Nah. Tinubu in London, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. is in London. But nobody knows where in London. All we were told is that Tinubu flew to London and that's all. Secret meeting. Tinubu came for a secret meeting. Only God knows what kind of meeting. Is he meeting our prime minister so that I can go to number 10 tomorrow? Come on, mo fẹ́ plan journey mi lọ́la. I'm trying to work out where Tinubu is going to be because he's a president. And president is not meant to be hiding for his citizen. Since we are still under and inside Nigeria. Ẹ má worry ìyá mi Basira, America ti máa wá wàláì. Mo gbọ́dọ̀ tọ́ tí n bá tẹ̀lé lọ sí gbogbo state, mo gbọ́dọ̀ dé state márùn-ún. Bó bá jẹ́ pé màá máa wọ night bus, ẹ kọ́ máa pàdé mi láwọn páàkì kan tí gbogbo á máa ṣe fàájì. Tinubu is not a Yoruba president. He's a Nigerian president, and that means Nigeria as a sovereign nation. Tinubu should tell us exactly where he is so that we can just come and ask him one or two questions. Just two questions. I will ask him about economy. I will ask him about security. I will ask him about his plan for Nigerians. Then I will then ask him about Biafra. I will ask him about Yoruba. I will ask him about El Zakizaki. I have a lot of questions for Tinubu, but he's in London, but I don't know where. My Jack for Kia, shout out to you, sir. Are we going to work with our brother in Biafra? Why not? Even America works with their enemies. Yami Teresa, America ó ń ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn enemy. So why are we not going to work with the Biafra? We work with Biafra. The only thing we don't work with the terrorists, Boko Haram and the ISIS. We work with the Jaw people, the South. Anybody we want to break out of Nigeria, we work with them. Even we work with those that doesn't want to break out. We have relationship with Showore. Showore send me message every day. When I wrote our article about Chief 2 days ago, I sent it personally to Showore so that they can publish it. So, Tony Aegis, Egbomi, Awoloke. My first presentation is on our president. When I say our president, because Nigeria is still a country, okay? So that means I am referring to the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Where do you think he is right now in London? I need suggestion. Because we know that Tinubu has arrived in London. But where exactly do you think he is? All we are told is he's here for a private meeting. Is he with investors? Is he with his doctor? Is he with King Charles? Is he with some Nigerians? What kind of private meeting could a president not give us a kind of itinerary? I hope you understand what I'm saying. Somebody says he's in Chatham House. Muriembe, Egbomi Shegun. Good evening to everyone. Emma Bino, if I haven't mentioned names, let's just roll with the program. Eite Walori Mixeller, shout out to you as usual. And I hope everybody can hear me loud and clear. Tinubu is a president of the most populous black nation in the world. But as we speak right now, the only thing that we are told is that Tinubu flew to London and that's it. No itinerary, no engagement so that people like us can go there and we can ask him questions and he will be able to answer us. But as we speak right now, that is not happening. And that literally means that Tinubu will be here and he will fly out of Nigeria, from UK gate back to Nigeria. How many days is he going to use in London? Nobody knows. Why are African leaders like these? Kilo de Toma Aide Kokon. Somebody say he's in his house in London. I don't think he should be in his house as a president. He's no longer an ordinary citizen. I believe he should be in Abuja House. But can I guarantee and then go there tomorrow and maybe I might not find him there? Ǹjẹ́ nìkankan mọ ibi tó wà ní London that you can send me an email, Koiki Media, so that I can pay him a visit. The last time he flew down before his campaign, wọ́n lọ sí private restaurant kan. I detected that restaurant. I went there. I'm not sure whether they're going to use that same restaurant again. But all I know is that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is here in London, and they are shielding him like they did with Buhari. Is that what we want to start with? Where president does not tell us exactly where he's going, apart from I'm in London, no itinerary. When Rishi Sunak travels, he travels with the media. Apart from when he's sleeping, that is the only time we cannot snoop around and see what he's doing, because that is his privacy. But the moment Rishi Sunak steps out of his hotel, we must follow him, and he can tell us his plan. We saw Rishi Sunak in Washington. He went for American ball, American football. So why is our own different? Why is this always that, Nigerians, politicians are always looking for the other way around? Why? What are they running away from? There is no secret about Tinubu. He's in the hospital for more medical investigation. Okay. And let them tell us now. Why are they not telling us he's receiving medical treatment? There's nothing wrong. If somebody is sick, he needs to receive treatment. But why are they hiding him? How long are they going to do that for? How long do you think they will do that for? Once again, my name is Olawumi Koiki, and the platform is called Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Some might be asking that Koiki, kini business pẹ̀lú bí tí Tinubu wà? Hey, slow down, okay? Slow down. We are talking from the international side now. I am not talking from the NTA and the Arise Television. I am talking from the international angle. Don't ask me and tell me what is my business to know where Tinubu is. Are you crazy? Are you mad? Tinubu is a president. He's no longer an average citizen. So my job is to find out where Tinubu is so that we can tell as many of our listeners, so that everybody knows that Tinubu is here. So telling me that why do I need to know where Tinubu is not what you should be telling me. What you should be telling me is that what is the itinerary of Tinubu? Where is he? That's all we need. You need to tell me. And I think it is right for us to know. But a lot of people might say, Tinubu needs his own privacy. Okay, that will be subject to telling us that he has now handed over to Shettima, so that Shettima will be in charge. Like Akeredolu is bedridden somewhere in Germany, is sick. We pray for his good health. And that way, Akeredolu has left officially everything to his deputy. But Tinubu only told us that he is leaving Nigeria to travel to Paris for a global summit part. How are you doing? How are you? For a global summit part, which is okay because as many African leaders were also at that event. There's a lot of argument. Àwọn èèyàn ní Tinubu did not speak. Àwọn kan ní Tinubu spoke. Àwọn kan ní Tinubu didn't speak at all, but he was there. But he spoke to the diaspora. We played the video yesterday. It does not matter, but Tinubu represented a country called Nigeria. But he did not tell us before he left Nigeria that he will be doing a stopover in London. He only made that decision when he arrived in Paris. So definitely there's an emergency that needs to be done. That is the reason why he has traveled out. Should we start feeling concerned? Because remember that Buhari started like this. We kept quiet. We said nothing until they start telling us that Buhari is gone. Buhari is alive. Buhari is this. Buhari is that. So it is important that we know where Tinubu is. Is in London. Is it for... Because the statement that was released told us that he's here for a private meeting. Let me go and find the dictionary meaning of a meeting. I don't know why my face is very dark on this laptop, but we just have to manage it. Emma Binu, I don't know why it's so dark. I can see myself. It's very, very dark. It's like I can't even see my face inside at all. All these, and I'm outside. Which kind of laptop is this safe? Emma Binu enter YouTube. I wish I know before I started it. But bear with us. We have to manage it like that. Sometimes it's always like that. So let's go and look for the English dictionary of meeting. What is the meaning? So that we can get the message properly. So when I say meeting, I better make I move this one like this. Meeting, an assemble of people. So definitely Tinubu is not meeting one person. I don't know. We were called do. Olúọ̀dẹ̀ ń ṣèyàn dúdú tó yẹn. Ọba ojú mi jẹ́ ṣá. Can you shut up, man? I'm not going to use this laptop again. So when I say a meeting, I am giving you the definition of a meeting that Tinubu is coming to do in London. I will tell you the meaning of private. So, but let's start with the meaning of meeting. From what we are told, Tinubu is flying to London from Paris for a meeting. I look like Baba Suwe. I don't want to look like Baba Suwe. Baba Suwe too funny. I'm not funny. I did very serious. Because Baba Suwe jokes with everything and he can easily manipulate any proverb. But we are here telling you as it is. A meeting is an assembly of people for a particular purpose, especially for formal discussion. We held an urgent meeting to discuss the response of the epidemic. So Tinubu is definitely not meeting with one person. He's meeting with assemble of people. Sometimes assemble of people could be 2. It could be 3. Thank you so much, Easy Dollar, for the coffee boat that you've just sent to us. Thank you so much. Now, let's go and find the meaning of private. Private. Tabani, private. What is the meaning of private? Or let's say private meeting. Private meeting means a meeting that may involve external parties, but is not open to the public and can only be attended by invitation from the unit holding the meeting. So now we understand what Tinubu is coming to do. He doesn't want to extend as many of us, but it could be for the good of Nigeria and it could be good for his own purpose. But the only difference is that he has not also specified if that meeting is got to do with Nigeria, whether they are selling Nigeria out, whether they are going to open Nigeria, or is it for Nigerians to be able to get visa to UK? It could be anything. It could be for the advantage of Nigeria. What do you think? Kilero. Kilero. No, Kilero. Kilero. Ẹ sọ fún mi. Kilero. Kilero. Ẹ sọ fún mi now. Kilero sí. Do you think that the meeting is for the purpose of serious relationship that will open the doors between Nigeria and UK? All right, leave it this stuff, baby. All right, I'm going to turn this one off. Let's do something quickly. I'm going to use this phone as my camera. So let me use my mobile phone to do my camera. So so that way, bear with me. There's always a way around. I can use my phone, but I need to download it first on the Apple. So XSplit. Mo ti download it, mo tún delete it náà ni, man delete it. XSplit. Yeah, webcam. Yeah, open. So come back here. Use the new camera. Accept. Yeah, so malati gbé báyìí. Kí ló dé? What happened there? Ó dà pé my better buy. So my camera should be a little bit much better now. Yeah. So I think we should be much better. Clear duty because I am using my phone now as my camera. So let me see. Show any changes. What? Show better there. I think it should be a little bit better. Okay, as you join Telegram. Okay, thank you so much. I'll share a link to Telegram here now, Sita. So we're going to start working on it. So, Bishen Solo, now that we have a bit of understanding of private meeting, my question back to Yonkan Mukim Abami Eshegonisa. Inti mo wá fẹ́ mọ̀ nísìn ni pé nígbà tí a ti get the understanding, a ti ní better understanding inti Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic, clip tí mo fi mú kíní ẹ̀ ló jábọ́. So, would like to say fair, but let me just pin it a little bit. Lele ló mama fẹ́ ni láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Lele ló mama fẹ́. So let's go hold it there for now. Àbúrò mo yé yín nísẹ̀yìn yan mi. Ìbéèrè tí à ń bá lọ, bá ṣe ń bá ọ̀rọ̀ wa lọ, òun ni pé Sherry, our eyes must be on the ball. Bí Tinubu ṣe jẹ́ president yẹn, àti pé bá ṣe fẹ́ kúrò ní Nàìjíríà, our eyes, ojú wa méjèèjì, ó gbọ́dọ̀ wà nínú tí bọ́ọ̀ yẹn bá ń lọ báyìí, a gbọ́dọ̀ máa follow ẹ̀. Because there is a lot of things that if care is not taken, by the time tí Tinubu máa lọ fi ṣe tán, kó má jẹ́ pé arrangement tó tún máa lọ gbé jáde kò ní favour wa rárá. And this is the reason tí ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń sọ pé Tinubu òun ló máa ṣe. I say I don't think so. But notwithstanding, we must negotiate with him. We must continue to tell him our own demands. Ó máa dá wa lóhùn lọ́dún kan, ó máa dá wa lóhùn lóṣù mẹ́ta, ó máa dá wa lóhùn lọ́la, ó kù sóhun lọ́wọ́. But a máa continue láti present ìtafẹ́ fún Tinubu. We must continue to present it to him. Nítorí pé he is the current president that is managing the affairs of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as at today. And that literally means that if we do not say anything and is moving around without clarity, if we don't ask, it's good that he's moving ṣé mọ̀ pé àwa wà very skeptical about this country tẹ́lẹ̀. Buhari lo London as his base for 8 years. London ni Buhari fi ṣe base. Nigeria was just where he was operating. If Tinubu, from his first outing as a president, is now having a private meeting without any details, there's nothing wrong because it's classified. America does that. All these, they do different things that are classified. But ìbéèrè mi ni pé UK gangan ni gbogbo wa sọ fún ya mọ̀ pé òun ló create entity tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ pè ní mere geographical location. Should we be concerned or should we just overlook it? It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. If Tinubu decide to use London as his own private base, could the meeting has to do with something? Emma Bino, there's a lot of movement there because I'm still using my phone as a camera in replacing the laptop. It's not live. So why is it not live picking it? Refresh again. Yeah, but to pick again. Should we be concerned or should we just say Komata? Oríṣiríṣi àwọn èèyàn máa ní Komata. 1914 ní òyìnbó make a decision láti change entity yẹn. Awólọ́wọ̀ wà lára àwọn tó gba independent fún wa. This is the first time, apart from pé Ọbásanjọ́ ń sọ Yorùbá, gbogbo àti agree pé Ọbásanjọ́ kì í ṣe full Yorùbá man. It does not matter kó sọ Yorùbá títí di thy kingdom come. Everybody knows he's not a full-blown Yoruba man. But he had a relationship with UK based on in táwọn not sọ fún. Irú relationship wo ni Bọ́lá Tinubu máa ní pẹ̀lú àwọn British government, especially quote and unquote Biafra and the Yoruba movement. Tẹ́bá ní UK were aware of what we are doing. The United Kingdom is fully aware. Mukiye kale yawa ashatishe. Mukiwa peluewa. Mukiya mitemi. Mukiya Canada ati eyitewa ni Arab countries. Titide Qatar, Oman. Mukiya tewa Africa, Asia ati gbogbo eyitewa ni Europe. Nígbà tí gbogbo wa ti agree pé relationship ta ní pẹ̀lú British government or Britain òun ló ń hold wa padà. Kò síjọ́ kan látijọ́ ta ti ń ṣe Yorùbá nation. Everybody máa ní Britain ló ń hold wa padà. Àwọn ní wọ̀dà wa, àwọn ló ń dá dúró, this and that. Àti ṣe rally ṣe fi pé wọ́n document gbogbo tá à ń ṣe yẹn ni. Ọlọ́pàá wà láàrin wa ń bẹ̀ tó jẹ́ tó wọ ọṣọ. Àṣà àwọn ọlọ́pàá tó guide wa. Wọ́n máa kọ report now. Ẹ fi pé wọ́n kọ report. Pé níjọ́ báyìí àwọn kan jáde mo kẹ́yìn tẹ́wà Africa náà ní Egypt, you are part of Africa, mo kẹ́yìn tẹ́wà ní Egypt. Ṣé feel pé UK tí gbogbo wa point finger sí, this is now the first time in so many years tí UK máa ní in tó ń pè ní another relationship pẹ̀lú a Yoruba man in the affairs of Nigeria. Ṣá rántí pé UK kò jẹ́ kí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ débẹ̀ ní 1959 wọ́n rig election yẹn. Bí ẹbí ṣe ń rò ó lè yàtọ̀ sí bẹ́ẹ̀ ń ṣe fẹ́ rò ó, but bí gbogbo wa faculty of thinking wa ó máa yàtọ̀ síra wa. I am looking at it from the angle that if UK is now seeing this full-blown proportion of self-determination movement, what is the arrangement and discussion with the current government tó jọmọ Yorùbá ló wà níbẹ̀? Ẹ máa bá mi ká lọ. The UK is a very smart, intelligent country. Wọ́n ní intelligentsia gan. They are not ready to allow us to go. Does not mean that they will be putting that on the table. Many Tinubu are in London as far as we're concerned. So it's just I'm just generalizing it now. But I am looking from year 1, year 2, year 3, tó bá máa fi di year 3, campaign máa tún jáde, ìgbà ìbò gbàgbàgbàgbàgbàgbàgbà. But ṣé mọ̀ pé Shettima ló host the British High Commissioner in Nigeria while Tinubu was outside the country? Bí ẹ̀yin ò tí follow gbọ́ news yẹn, ẹ ti gbọ́ ní bíbá. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ gbọ́ mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. While Tinubu was in Paris, àwọn British wọ́n lè wait kí Tinubu dé láti ṣèpàdé pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Shettima lọ bá, which there's nothing wrong because òun ló wà in charge, òun ló dilé mú. We might be sold out again if care is not taken. How are you? Kí ni mo sọ? We might be sold out again if care is not, I'm fine, if care is not taken. And that is the reason why we must not stop asking for the quest to the self-determination, just like the Scottish did over the weekend. Ìgbà tí mo gbọ́ news àwọn Scotland, about 6,000 people ló jáde. Their next outing is July 29. So that means pé every month làwọn ará Scottish fi máa jáde. Wọ́n jáde ní May nígbà tí King ṣe coronation. Wọ́n ti jáde ní April, if I am right. Wọ́n tún máa jáde ní June. Wọ́n máa jáde ní July. Ìjà wa kọ̀ máa fold hands wa. Tinubu ló wà níbẹ̀. We are not going to do anything. But àwa máa kọ̀ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí social media. While we don't even know the arrangement, because àti gbọ́ nísìnyí pé wá fún private meeting. This private meeting could be anything from holding us backwards or just making an extension of maybe do your own government yo. Má tí gbéjọba sílẹ̀ fún àwọn Yoruba nation o. Má gbéjọba lẹ̀ fún Biafra o. Just do your own bí àṣà ọ̀rẹ́ wa. Do your own thing. I'm not mentioning her name because she's not even worth putting on my platform again. And I'm still going to do a full program on her because she's looking for a soft landing. Kò dẹ̀ rírí yẹn. Gbogbo jàgbàjàgbà tó sọ jáde lẹ́nu yẹn. She's not illiterate because the word illiterate means that ẹni tó lè sọ èdè míì. But she's just a fool at 40. But tí ẹ̀yẹn máa ń padà wá bá later. Ǹjẹ́ ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ gbọ́ mi tí mo sọ? Tí British bá ń sọ fún Tinubu pé àwọn Biafra fẹ́ lọ. Àwọn Biafra fẹ́ lọ. Let me say this first. Biafra ni British kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rù jù, kò bẹ̀rù àwa rárá. bóun yìí kẹ́ sọ anything dọ̀la Britain ò bẹ̀rù àwa rárá, wọ́n bẹ̀rù Biafra. Màá dẹ̀ sọ̀dí fún yín. Ṣé mọ̀ pé Biafra ò bá lọ tán tí kò bá ń ṣe pé Britain fún Nigerian government ní backup lọ fi jàjà 3 years, ọdún mẹ́ta. It was not an easy. It does not matter. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jókòó padà. It does not matter. I'm going to bring the camera back. Ẹ má bínú ẹ̀ tẹ́ wà níbẹ̀ because kò sí bá ṣe fẹ́ ẹ má bá wa manage camera yẹn ni. So camera is not available. It's in use by another. Kilo me by that. Anyway, ẹ jẹ́ ká yọ ilé kúrò. So ṣé ẹ ṣì rí mi lórí YouTube? So let me bring my chair back because a ti wà nínú agbami ọ̀rọ̀. It's a very serious discussion. Torí pé àwa we get carried away too much with a lot of things. Ó better díẹ̀ ní sin àbí. So ẹ jẹ́ ká gbélé wá báyìí. Ṣé ẹ ṣì rí mi? Mọ́mì mi Basira àtẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí program pẹ̀lú mi. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ńbẹ̀ ṣé rí mi. So now, anything, truth and question. Thank you so much. Sherry, I'm béèrè fún one thing. I'm béèrè fún Yoruba nation àbí. There's nothing wrong. Again, but glasses me. Don't know. I'm after that your comment, but now kí mo ti ń wò tó ó ti fẹ́ máa pọ̀ jù. So I need to stop a little bit as well. I'm béèrè fún Yoruba nation. But àmọ́ kí ni intention Britain gangan nípa tá à ń béèrè fún. Britain mọ tí à ń béèrè fún nítorí pé in tá à ń béèrè fún lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí, in tá à ń béèrè fún Biafra ti béèrè fún rí tí ó dá ìjà sílẹ̀ tó dá yánpọnyánrin sílẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà that led to the civil war. Mo sọ pé reason tí Britain ṣe hold back presently nísìn because Britain wọ́n play double agent. Agent tó ń play ni pé they love the North so much. Àyà wọn ń já pé tí Nàìjíríà bá lọ pín. This is just my own analysis. Pé tí Nàìjíríà bá pín North tá à ń rí yẹn ó máa difficult fún wọn díẹ̀. They believe that the North is not up there yet compared sí region méjì tó kù which is Southeast àti Southwest. So Britain is going to want a Nigeria that can just be reformed. Ẹgbọ́n mi tí mo sọ, ọmọ afẹ́ Nàìjíríà tó wà reformed láti keep gbogbo wa together within that same context of Nigeria. And they will want to speak with Bola Tinubu. And the reason for that is that not that Bola Tinubu has his own intention to divide Nigeria. That is my own view. I don't see that in him yet. Even if he have it in his mind. Within the next 4 years of this government, a máa monitor engagement in Britain pẹ̀lú Nigeria. Nigeria is really going through a lot of problem. I'm not talking about economic problem. I am talking about the nationality problem that has now erupted again. Because what erupted in 1967, if we are going to not allow that to happen again, everybody will come on the round table with Bola Tinubu. What the probability wà pé Tinubu might want to give a bit of 10% of such. But Britain is not ready for the breakup of Nigeria. I don't know yet, but I am still telling you within the context of ìlú tèmi wáyé pẹ̀lú Nigeria based on intertirinism. Mo monitor United Nations Resolution, United Nations Security Council níjọ́ Friday. Ó rà pé mo posted Sky News, mo follow ẹ̀ díẹ̀. UAE ọ̀dọ̀ yín níbẹ̀ àwọn ni wọ́n host òun ni president àsàtìgbà tó ṣe níjọ́ Friday yẹn. The world is facing a lot of turmoil, it's unbalanced. There's a lot happening. The last thing that want to happen now is pé kí Nigeria náà tún ṣe kí ni kó tún kó sínú wàhálà. So in terms of ṣe ni pé wọ́n fẹ́ slow down the breakup of Nigeria. Sherry, there is no way Nigeria is not going to break. But the British Empire, the British system does not want it to break within the next 20 years. Fact, the British would not want Nigeria to break within the next 20 years. And it's got to do with a lot of factors. And when I say 20 years, that 20 years have started with Bola Ahmed Tinubu inside. Britain mọ̀ pé Nigeria máa lọ. But it is not going to happen within the next 20 years. The British doesn't want Nigeria to break within the next 20 years. Bola Tinubu is part of that 20 years. And let's calculate it. He's got the first 4 years at the moment. If he has another 4 years, it will be 8 years. The next 8 years goes back to the north. That's 16. Then the last 4 years, we might now be looking at whether it goes back to southeast or the southwest is wanting to take it back again. That is when the whole country goes in fire. But all that can be stopped if negotiation continue now, back to back. Negotiation doesn't come straight away. I've told you that since we are not fighting in any kind of situation, that means we will negotiate, and negotiate is back to back. We have to talk about so many things that has linked the country together. How do you unbundle it? In some areas, Niger Delta has the crude oil that is used to fund Nigeria as a country. So how do you unbundle back that the oil belongs now to Niger Delta, is no longer belonging to we the Yorubas? We will say we own their Papa port. But so you can see that there's a lot of things that linked what is called Nigeria together. And when I was listening to Femi Adesina, I'm going to see if I can pull out Unload Law. What Femi Adesina was saying, in Paris, they have good plans according to what is safe. Tinubu wants to do this, Tinubu wants to do that, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. Number one, Tinubu doesn't have the money to do any jack shit. There's no money anywhere in Nigeria. I'm talking about it is dry. Nigeria is dry. There's no money. So Tinubu needs money from African Development Bank, Exim Bank, the Arabs. It needs at least nothing less than maybe 10,000 investors to pump money into Nigeria so that they can stabilize Nigeria to some extent. There may be another 8 years. But the question is, part of this, skimchi meeting that he's starting to do now, is it for his own reason? Is it for his own capacity? British High Commissioner saw, and I'll see if I can open that at the visit of the British High Commission to Nigeria, British High Commission visit to Aso Rock. In everything they say, there's a code inside every conversation. Shetima met with the British High Commissioner in Abuja. I'm going to have to wear my glasses so that I can be able to read that. Let's read what discussion they had. The Vice President, Kashima Shetima, has met with the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Richard Montgomery, at the State House in Abuja. Why they did not wait for Tinubu to come back, I don't know. But there's nothing wrong. It's just a courtesy call. They will still have to visit Tinubu at some point. Let's go further. In a chat with the State House correspondent after the meeting on Wednesday, the British High Commissioner said the meeting with the Nigerian Vice President was fruitful as it focused on how to revamp up bilateral relationship between the two countries. Do you know that word bilateral, let's go and look for the full meaning of bilateral. Do you know that Babakitoye used that in the same statement, that is what we are going to use to unbundle ourselves out of Nigeria? But let's go and find out the meaning of bilateral. Let's go to the English dictionary. So when we say, one more time, having or relating two sides, affecting both sides, involving two parties, especially countries. The British government wants to continue to have bilateral relationship with Nigeria, while we are saying that Nigeria needs to now have a bilateral relationship with us to unbundle ourselves. Let me tell you exactly where Babakitoye stated that in our letter to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So that was stated just under page 6. That's if you print it out. It's page 1 to 7. That's for those of you that print it out. So let's go into it. When people ask me, Koiki, then also you can also use it in an example like this. It means affecting both the right and the left side of the body. This is my left side. This is my right. What is an example of something bilateral? Some people are asking that on Google. So let's read that out. What is an example of something that is bilateral? Any sales agreement is an example of a bilateral contract. A car buyer may agree to pay the seller a certain amount of money in exchange for the title of the car. The seller agrees, deliver the car title in exchange for a specific sales. So when we now say bilateral between countries, so bilateral between countries, what does it mean? So it literally means that bilateralism is the conduct of a political, economic, or cultural relation between two sovereign states. Do you know that Yoruba is a sovereign state, but the only difference is we don't have that. We have the territory. I need the geographical territory, but we don't have the government in place. Rather than having a Yoruba sovereignty, we have in Nigeria sovereignty, but under Nigeria, we now have Yoruba politicians operating on our behalf in Abuja and on the state level and the local government level. But what we are demanding for, out of Nigeria, is that sovereignty. It's not to hear that Bola Tinubu is a Nigerian president, but he speaks Yoruba very well. No, we don't want that. It's not that we want Sanwo-Olu is in Lagos State, is celebrating his birthday, today with Gbajabi Amila. They are celebrating their birthday today. They are Yoruba. They are representing us for under a sovereignty of Nigeria. They are not representing us as a sovereignty nation. That is the two different. So we are a sovereign nation that we want. We want to have our own sovereignty. We don't want to stand under this fraudulent system that was put together by the British government that is not going to allow Nigeria to break in the next 20 years if we do not push for this self-determination. And somebody was saying there, Mr. Toby, I pick up your comment. You say the North is far better and richer than the South. It is just that the North are practicing a feudal system where they purposely deny the North quality education and impoverish them to turn Northern. So what you are saying to me now is, as it stands right now, the North is better than the South. I'll leave that for other people, to comment on that. Now, let's come back again. I've given you the meaning, but I didn't finish it. So, bilateralism is the conduct of a political, economic, cultural relationship between two sovereign states, which is what the British government continuity wants between Nigeria and British. And that is why at the time that they were asking the British High Commissioner, Dr. Richard, what was your discussion with the vice president? He went further to say that the Nigerian vice president was a fruitful, and when they say something is fruitful, fruit man do. There's some fruit fruit yoda, but when they say something is fruitful with the FUL, that means mango to duni, osan to duni. So they are saying Nigeria as osan to dun. Talk about continue relationship yẹn, but kò wá ń ṣe relationship làwọn lò, wọ́n pè ní bilateral relationship between the two countries, particularly in the area of boosting economic engagement. The British government needs that economic engagement to continue. You can send the report kan sí mi nípa, I'm still reading it up, but I might pull it out from my email and bring it into this conversation, which I can do right now. So let me just jump into my email. It was one of my brothers that sent it to me. So normally when something sent like that, I just send it to my email. So I'm just checking my email. Yeah, only Commonwealth. So let me quickly read this to you. This was sent to me. This says Commonwealth Trade Case Study, Nigeria, by David Hammy. I'll spell that in case you want to look it out. David, everybody knows David, the David Goliath. You can spell that. But the surname is spelled Hearne, as in Hotel Echo Alpha Romeo November Echo. Called Center for the Brexit Study. And this was put together by the Birmingham City University. Summary. So I will not go through everything. I'll just read the summary and the overview. Summary. Nigeria is the most, we know all that anyway, it's just nonsense. They keep telling us Nigeria is the most populous country, the largest economy in Africa, with a substantial oil and the gas reserve. Additional mentioned the gas during his conversation with either NTA in Paris, because they are now looking at converting gas to fertilizer. German Chancellor was happy with that. That means that German will be the one helping us to do such a project. Nigeria cannot handle this kind of big project, okay? When all this project is going to happen, they need to give it to people like countries that they will have. This is where the bilateral agreement comes in. So again, there remain significant ties, TIES, between the UK and Nigeria, facilitated by education and the large Nigerian diaspora in Britain. I am my mom, I am the second generation. I already have children. That means they are the third generation. And they are not likely to go anytime soon. So before you know now, I will not be more. That means the fourth generation. Before we know now, we were talking about the fifth generation. When are we going to go back to our own generation? Back on the ground there, on the soil. Nigerian tariffs are high by European standard and are particularly severe in the automotive sector. Non-tariff barriers are extremely challenging, with the border compliance taking 284 hours compared to the OECD average of 9 hours. Corruption and organized crime are rift, posing problems for potential exporters. Violence, extreme poverty, political fragmentation are likely to inhabit the UK export growth in the near and medium term. I was saying to my, I think I said it on the program, I can't remember. Money, the reason why we're not bringing enough of Nigerian foodstuff to this country is because of the bottleneck. I think it was the one we did on Friday, the lecture we did in the morning on Friday. So let's talk about the overview. Broadway and connected the dots. This is a case study. We're talking about the bilateral, and you are saying that Britain will allow the breakup of Nigeria in the next 20 years. If we do not make as much effort, then we will still be stuck even after Tinubu have left. Even by the time Tinubu Mama Fidlo, we will still be stuck in Nigeria if we do not make all the effort now while Tinubu is in power. Because Tinubu is giving, is not giving the hope, but he's still a little bit much fairer than having a Fulani Buhari that was there. But that will be subject to if we make use of it. If we do not make use of it, that is the final straw. Even those that do not support the Yoruba nation, they will feel the brunt of it. So let's talk about the overview. Then I'll go back again to the meeting between the UK and Nigeria, and then we come back again to London, where Tinubu is holding a private meeting. A private meeting with who? Well, who is he having this private meeting with? Are there few people, 3 people? Do you know that 3 people? Do you know that one person make the decision that is affecting us today? Mo fẹ́ wo bí àwọn èèyàn mọ ta ló make a decision tó affect gbogbo alẹ́ ní nísìn. Mo kí ìyá mi gbé mi lékè. Ta ló make a decision tí gbogbo wa fi ń pariwo lẹ́ni pé ìlú yóò gbádùn? Who made that decision and what year? Who made that decision? Decision tí gbogbo wa fi ń sọ pé lẹ́ni àfẹ́ Nàìjíríà mọ̀. It was just one person that made that decision, Lugard. But Lugard did not make that decision on his own. Lugard had a meeting, a private meeting between certain set of people. There could be 3, there could be 4. Is Tinubu having meeting that will keep us in Nigeria for the next 20 years, the next 30 years? I don't know. But I hope he's not doing anything stupid like Lugard has done on our lives already. In Lugard is anything, we are still trying to resolve it. Lord Lugard, he was given a lord here in UK. He was the governor administrator in Nigeria. In January 1st, 1914, he changed what used to be known as a Yoruba kingdom. It actually changed it to what we now call the Nigeria that we are calling today. So when those of you that are saying, good evening to you, my beautiful wife, when we now look at people that say, let's keep this Nigeria. No, you are keeping this Nigeria based on a private meeting. Was that meeting held in Lugard House? I took it out there before. Because Lugard lived in that house, is not there anymore, but his flag is still there. But information told me that Lugard was living there. Meeting of changing Nigeria would not have taken as many people. It was just few set of people that sat together and they gave Lugard the information to go and carry it out. And Lugard announced that as from today, there will be no more Yoruba kingdom, there will be no more Eastern kingdom, Hausa kingdom. Every single one of you now, we put you together and you will be called one entity project called Nigeria, that the British government will continue to have bilateral relationship up till 1914. And the British government were very smart. They never gave us independence even after they amalgamate Nigeria. So after so many decades, Aṣètúwá jáde padà láti tún wá request for a self-determination. After tí wọ́n lock gbogbo wa together under this entity called Nigeria, it now took up to 1960 to get independent. So literally, they were still sucking us like mosquito. So for more than 40 years, Eba Misari calculate 1914 to 1960. What is the difference? Let me drink the water. Mokimba Baba Yonkan. (1914 to 1960). How many years interval? 46. So it took, and it had been in 1914. Nígbà tí wọ́n gba independent ló ṣe pé 46 years old. And imagine kí ló dé tí Britain tún ṣe control wa for 46 years. Do you know what happened in 46 years? Do you know the resources that they suck out of that entity, that area, that we were not in charge? Because all they did was they put some of our people as civil servants while governor administrator were running their affairs. So even as much as some of you disagree for the breakup of Nigeria, you want this unity, you want this, this law for us to live together. But the British never wanted that law, because when they amalgamated us, they did not give us the right to control ourselves for 46 years. We have to go and even beg. And even during that begging, that election was rigged. So when you are saying the election is rigged in Nigeria today, British knew that election would be continuously rigged and you will not do anything. Peter Obi will never be able to offset Tinubu. It does not matter whatever the outcome. If the court tried to unseat Tinubu, Nigeria will blow out of proportion, and that will be the end of Nigeria. Because even the first election was rigged by the British government. So let's come back again to bilateral relationship. So when we talk about bilateral relationship, it is something that connects two countries, two sovereign countries. It is in contrast to unilateralism or multilateralism, which is activity by a single state or jointly by multiple states respectively. Now, when we talk about bilateral of countries, bilateral relationship consists of political, economic, or cultural relationship between Nigeria and United Kingdom. So, I will love Tinubu. No, it's not about loving Tinubu. We are talking about the British is more concerned about the economic side. And let me go back again to what discussion, no, the report. Nígbà tí wọ́n fẹ́ jáde kúrò nínú exit European Union, what should report nípa Nigeria? Let me tell you the overview, and I'll share this later on our Instagram, Telegram page that we've just opened, and the WhatsApp. For those that still want to be on the WhatsApp, that's fine. Some are not comfortable with that. We've now opened the Telegram today, and the link will be shared into this broadcast by our team if they're listening to me. Overview and prospect. Nigeria has the largest economy in Africa does not literally mean that it implies to you as a Nigerian. So when they say Nigeria has the largest economy, the question you should be asking yourself is, kí ló dé tí mi ò níṣẹ́? Kí ló dé tí mi ò níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́? Kí ló dé tí mò ń jìyà? Kí ló dé tí mo lè lọ sí hospital láti gba ìwòsàn? Kí ló dé tí kò sí security? Kí ló dé tí kò sí iṣẹ́? All this is what Adesina was saying that Tinubu is going to do. So Adesina Akinwumi ní mind ẹ̀, ó feel pé Tinubu máa lè sọ́ọ̀tì. Let me go on YouTube if I can find it. Akinwumi Adesina, in his own mind, ní mind agbárí ẹ̀, ó feel pé Tinubu máa lè resolve gbogbo problem yẹn tán within 4 years or after Akinwumi. Hey, àwọn ọmọ ńlá ló ń lọ yẹn mẹ́, loud it. Now, kí ló sọ ní Paris? Let's go and look for the one he said in Paris. I saw a very good one on Instagram, but mo padà share. So mo dey rántí orúkọ page yẹn. But let's see if we find the one to ṣe ní Paris. Paris. Ó dà pọ̀ Twitter ni màá ti fẹ́ rí. Twitter máa ń wà relevant. Gbogbo tó ti ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀ lélẹ̀ ń gbé wa. Ẹ já lọ sórí Twitter. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé ẹ kúrọ̀lẹ́, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Tinubu in London is private engagement. ẹ máa rántí pé àwọn few ló change in Nigeria. So private meeting tó ń ṣe tẹ́ ẹ̀ mọ̀ tó wà lábẹ́ you are gone already tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá wà careful. Okay, that's it. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́.
To personally commend him for the thoughts and the ideas that he has brought to the summit right here in Paris, of course, and here in Paris. And so we discussed so many things, but first and foremost, I think I commended him for his boldness, his vision, his determination with regard to having macroeconomic stability and fiscal stability for Nigeria. And as you know, I spoke at the inauguration lecture for His Excellency the President. I commended his boldness in removing the very inefficient fuel subsidies that Nigeria has. And, no bird can fly if his wings are tied at his back.
I hope you can hear it bit by bit.
Nigeria significantly. And I think the whole issue of correcting the exchange rate distortions that Nigeria has will also free up the access to forex and also make Nigeria's currency much more competitive in terms of export competitiveness for the things that we produce. All those are right signals that the president is sending, which investors like, with the international community likes, which will also attract significant amount of investment into Nigeria. I discussed with His Excellency the President about a couple of things. First, of course, is agriculture, to see what we can do to support the government with regard to the Mr. President's vision in agriculture. We discussed about special.
Let's pause it a little bit. All he's just saying is that he's saying the good side of what Tinubu should do and what he should be planning to do to build and make Nigeria work. Let's come back now again to the case study. Is page 1 to 5, but we're going to look at the overview and the prospect. Nigeria has the largest economy in Africa with a rapidly growing population of some about 190 million, in addition to being a major oil producer and exporter. Nigeria is already the 7th most populous country in the world and is projected to overtake the United States of America as the world's 3rd most populous country during the 21st century. Nigeria is a major commodity exporter and is a significant potential market. I want you to underline that word, potential market, leading it to be considered a target. A target. Tó bá gbé bọ̀dá ní báyìí, sniper. Tó bá mú orí ẹ, gbogbo orí ẹ máa wálẹ̀. Sniper. Tó bá mú ẹ mọ́lẹ̀, ó máa take it out, especially tó bá jẹ́ tó dáa, and they can shoot from a long range. And that's why sniper ló máa protect the president látòkè láti make sure pé èèyàn kankan fi take out president. Target, which is what àwọn mùjẹ̀mùjẹ̀ target yẹn ló ń wò. Let's go further. Nigeria is a major commodity exporter and is a significant potential market, leading it to be considered a target to grow post-BRICS exit trade within the Commonwealth. The country has the world's 10th and the 9th largest oil and natural gas reserve. 46 years ni Britain fi ń sọ́ọ̀kì. Ẹ má ẹ̀kọ́ parọ́ fún yín pé wọ́n ṣe detect crude oil ní 1950 something o fàbú. Wọ́n ti ń gún epo yẹn tipẹ́tipẹ́. Nígbà tílẹ̀ mọ́ ni bàràwọ̀ wọn káwọ́ sókè pé ìgbà táwa rí lélẹ̀. Epo wa ló fi ja ogun tó pọ̀ jù, ogun World War II, kìnnìkan, epo Nàìjíríà ló fi jàjà yẹn. So let's go further. So the country has the world's 10th and number 9 largest oil and natural gas reserves, respectively. Nigeria is the number 1 recipient of the FDI in Africa, although the country is extremely poor relative to European standard. European standard. Forget it. And tell you, pure bottled water buy. Pure water lemon, and this is meant to be the basic one. They purify omi, so there's no way you will get to the standard. Even though I need gas, additional sọ̀rọ̀ nípa gas, nínú fídíò yìí
industrial
ariwo yẹn pọ̀ nítorí ẹni so mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ bí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ so kò dẹ̀ sí point ká máa ìdùnnú ìtí get speaker tí mo ní máa get so tá a bá ti get speaker ìyẹn á lè máa boom á lè máa jáde dáadáa. Ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa gas, ó ní wọ́n need the gas láti turn it to fertilizer. Ó sọ̀rọ̀ pé Tinubu ní òun fẹ́ ṣe iná. Ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa pé wọ́n máa create microfinance fáwọn àwọn Nigerians láti lè access owó. He talked about a lot of great things, but those great things, even quote and unquote, even if Tinubu wants to push those things into perspective, is it going to last after Tinubu has left? Because we know, before I move to our local government, to the professor in our local government, based on the projection of your budget, because we looked at the Kwara State budget yesterday, the budget is not even up to 200 billion naira. Local government, you can't need the 200 billion here if you are going to get to the standard a little bit of something that people can have a better life. But Nigerians love to be deceived. All you love to listen to when they are doing presentation, and then the statistician come and talk on Shewan Kimbaloye and all these. All these are rhetorics. It is not going to be materialized, okay? I know you don't want to hear that. It does not matter how you listen to all these rhetorics. It is never going to be materialized. It's as simple as that. So let's go back. Now that we know that Nigeria is number 9, number 10, it has a lot of oil and natural gas, and those areas that own this gas and those areas that own this crude oil, go and see the environmental damage that they've done to those areas, especially the Niger Delta. Is that not the reason why Abacha killed Ken Saro-Wiwa, the environmental, that was fighting for the people? So the job people have never enjoyed the crude oil, even though, you know, if sometimes they open their tap, crude oil can come out. But in reality, no Nigerians enjoy anything, because Nigeria was never built to make you survive. You are the one surviving for yourself. Nigeria as a country is not providing to make you to survive. So you have to go and survive, whether through whatever means. But we do not condone crime on this platform. Let's go further. Now, Nigeria is the #1 recipient of the FDI in Africa, although the country is extremely poor relative to the European standard and has problems in infrastructure, power sector, and the massive unemployment. These 3 things is what Tinubu is trying to do. Of a fixed infrastructure. They say Buhari tried a little bit. I don't know how fast Buhari tried. They said he did as much that he could do. Now, Tinubu needs to fix all your infrastructure. Tinubu needs to fix your power sector. He needs to unbundle so that every state can go and do their own power sector. How that is going to happen, don't ask me. I don't know. But let's come back. Several factors facilitate trade. This is where I want you to listen to now. Go and bring water for me. Which phone? I'm using the phone. I'm using it. Go and blow me for me. Several factors facilitate the trade between the United Kingdom and Nigeria. Not least the use of English. The reason why I am speaking like this to you is not because of I live here. It's because I was trained to believe that our language, which is Yoruba, is the rubbish language, but let us embrace English. Because when they were cooking up Nigeria, they gave us English as our own language, but they told us that the Yoruba they even almost told us that Yoruba is a foreign language, speaking in vernacular. It is only now, last year, I realized, hold on, even me that I speak good English, I am still being told by the British government, before you can apply for a British passport, you have to go and take, I need just one, thank you. You need to go and take English test. I mean, is that not madness? If you want to come and school in England, because I cannot say London, you can school anywhere within England, Wales, or Scotland. It's 3 different, areas. London is just where I live, but we call it England. You would go and do exam in English. I mean, does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. So I hope maybe that's part of what Tinubu is discussing. That, hey, we cannot be telling our people that wants to come and school here to go and do English test, when literally we are English-speaking country, for God's sake. I speak better than people from this East Bloc area that are coming to UK. They speak no English, but they are allowed to come to this country, and they are far better than me and you. But Nigerians are stupid because they believe that because we are speaking English, that is better, and we should abandon our own language, which is Yoruba language. Let's come back again. So, not least the use of English. Additionally, the UK is the home to a substantial Nigerian diaspora and the ongoing educational links, most notably at the higher education level, where Nigerians are the third largest group of overseas students in the UK, continue to strengthen the ties between Nigerian. There's nothing called Nigerian again. You can see that until we break it down. But my point again, not to let you be bored with this, because I was just using it as a reference point. So I'm going to come out of that, go back again to what was the outcome of British High Commissioner Dr. Richard Montgomery with the Vice President Shettima. Is about bilateral relationship. And I said I was going to ask you, I was going to go back to page 6. More by the way, this is what Baba Akintoye said if we are going to unbundle ourselves from Nigeria. We Yoruba are prepared to attain these goals through negotiation with the Nigerian government, either on a bilateral basis. What does that mean? Now that I've given you the understanding of bilateral, because the British government is doing the same thing. We can still have bilateral relationship with you. Just allow us to go. Does not mean that we would not have economic tie. We will not have relationship. We will not. I hope we get to between on Sunday. Because the same bilateral tie, see you, the only difference our control territory, which is Kwara, Kogi, Ondo, Osun, Ekiti, Lagos, Ogun State. We are not controlling that territory, but we can have bilateral. If Nigeria still wants to keep the Nigeria, we will have what they call the bilateral relationship. The same thing that UK is having. All we just have to do now is that we don't even have to put to say Endofewasi Yoruba nation country or Oduduwa kingdom, Yoruba kingdom, whatever we're going to call it. We will still have what we call a bilateral relationship, because this is the language. That is why I said policy. So when people say Baba Akintoye should not go and negotiate, but UK is negotiating with Nigeria on a bilateral level. Baba Akintoye said the same thing before Dr. Montenegro went to visit the vice president. So Kini, understand, what we are saying is that we are not fighting. Forget about my outfit. It's just a normal outfit here. It's not a threat to the government. Okay? This outfit is just a normal outfit for me here in UK. But what we are saying is that we want to discuss with Tinubu. Tinubu can still be controlling Nigeria, but let us control our own part with negotiation. And those negotiations will mean that, okay, Mr. Baji Akintoye, when we give you Yoruba nation, how do we deal with all the Nigerians that are not, I'm not talking about Yoruba people now, that are not Yoruba people? We will now say, okay, we will set up our own immigration. Just as the UK is saying that, for me, I have a lot of my family that, and let me say it again, I don't do visa. Don't fall any trap. Somebody still send a message, Baba Koiki, I don't know about how to get to UK. All I know is I went for interview. And interview, from what I'm hearing, you're just going to submit document. That's all I know. I went to attend an interview. I speak in English to them. before I was given my visa in Abuja in 1998. I don't know about visa. So when people are saying that Koiki Báwo lè ṣe fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation, it's through negotiation, bilateral, and that means that we will give Tinubu a document of how our relationship will still be with those that are not our own people. We are not talking about somebody that get married to Igbo person, Hausa person. No, all those will be classified as Yoruba people, not as a real Yoruba, because not everybody is a British citizen, but they are given a right to live in this country. And those that have swear allegiance to the Queen and they are receiving the British passport, you are now literally saying that you will abide by the rules and regulations of this country. And if you do otherwise, you revoke that British passport and they will send you back to your own original country. And if you don't have any country, they drop you anywhere that you have any tie with. So when people are saying that Tabagba Yoruba nation, no, you cannot tell all the Igbos to leave our territory. It's not going to work like that. Oh, just shut up. Don't stop thinking like a stupid, idiotic people. We will still have relationship with the Biafra, whether they are the Igbos, whether they are Biafra, even with the North. The only thing is that we want to know who is coming into our territory. And that is going to be dealt with immigration sector. That is why we will have somebody like immigration officer here as well that will be monitoring you. If you are working in a shop and you employ somebody and you are not allowed to employ, they are not telling the Yoruba government, we will fine you, we will make sure we close your business. All these will be implemented with policy. But the first thing is, let us call for a sovereignty of our country through bilateral, which is the first thing Baba Akintoye said. We Yoruba are prepared àti ṣetán láti ṣe ẹ̀tàn ìtafẹ́ go wa àníyàn wa ìtafẹ́ through negotiation with the Nigerian government, either on a bilateral basis that is between Yoruba nation government and the government of Nigeria. Is that not the same thing? You can listen. The UK sent representative. Look, you think Rishi Sunak needs to go to every country around the world? No, that is why they have, even we can have ambassador inside the Nigerian government. I mean, a Nigerian country. I'm serious. We will have our own representative inside the Nigerian government. No, Nigerian country. Because if they want to keep Nigeria, we will have our own ambassador that will be representing us, just as Dr. Richard Montenegro. Montgomery is the one representing Rishi Sunak, my own prime minister. Rishi Sunak doesn't need to be in Nigeria. That is why he has a representative. Ìdítaṣe ń sọ fún yín pé negotiation ni ló máa pọ̀ jù. But should we be concerned pẹ̀lú ìgbésẹ̀ tí Tinubu náà máa gbé? Because if Tinubu is making steps, because we cannot see everything. Look, because snoop around. We might not know everything Tinubu is doing. But Toba lo tawa padà ńkọ́. Toba sign agreement with the British government pé okay, kíjọba òun lè settle. Òun ò ní jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà pín nísìn. Òun á ṣèjọba tòun tán. Òun á dé gbé sílẹ̀. Káwúsá náà ṣe ti ọdún mẹ́jọ. Kí àwa rí bí Ìgbò máa ṣe ọdún mẹ́rin. Káwá pín Nàìjíríà. Nobody knows. So let's go further. Baba Akintoye went further to say that is between Yoruba nation representative and the Nigerian government, or on a multilateral basis that brings most of the constituent stakeholders. There's a lot of different stakeholders in Nigeria, and each of these stakeholders has their own reason why they don't want Nigeria to break. But if we want to break away from Nigeria, we need to give them assurance. Dangote does not want Nigeria to break if he cannot get assurance from the Yoruba government that his investment will be protected. That is the reality of life. Forget it. If not, Dangote too will destroy Nigeria. And when I say destroy Nigeria, it will destroy the Yoruba land, because he cannot put a $19 billion project and you are asking for Yoruba nation and you cannot give him guarantee that his project will still remain where it is the normal thing in life. But they are stakeholders in Nigeria. Different stakeholders, oríṣiríṣi stakeholders ló wà. stakeholders míì wà ìtàn ṣe ni pé bó ṣe máa keep Nigeria, stakeholders míì wà bó ṣe máa jẹ́ kí Nigeria kó lọ. But if the stakeholders are ready to listen to us, whether they are foreign stakeholders, they are local stakeholders like the African stakeholders, remember that we still have African countries that do not want Nigeria to break because Nigeria will not survive. But we can guarantee them that if Nigeria breaks, whatever relationship you have with Nigeria, we might not go in accordance with that relationship, but we will rewrite a new policy where we can start a new bilateral relationship. Okay, ṣé náà ní Nigeria fún yín tẹ́lẹ̀? Oda, we will see if we can do that for you based on this new tariff. And this is how things work in reality. That is if we don't go through BAS on the M1. If we go through the M1, all these things I'm talking about is out of the table, but it will still come back at some point after there is a fight for 3 years like the civil war in the Biafra. So all these people that are saying that the Biafra cannot do anything, Yoruba cannot do anything, is because you are still looking at it from the perspective of a non-violent movement, which we are still operating. But the moment it goes out of that area, then it would take 3 years maximum. But since Tinubu is there, why should we go and fight him when we can come on the round table and discuss as we want to break away from Nigeria? And it's not a must to remain in Nigeria, just as the British have also said they do not want to remain in the European Union. Some say yes, some said no, but the yes have it. So let's go back to the Montgomery said the British ministers are responding positively to the policies of President Bola Tinubu. Maybe that's why Tinubu flew back to London from Paris. He couldn't wait. He just wanted to meet some people. Private meeting. So kò fẹ́ padà sí Nigeria, ó fẹ́ wá star red so that kó lè kó gbogbo ẹ̀ papọ̀. There's nothing wrong in that. But in reality, we don't know what Tinubu is doing with Nigeria as a country, where we have indigenous people that are sitting inside. So if you think that Nigeria is not going to break, it will break, but it needs a lot of understanding between the stakeholders, the indigenous people, because Dangote is not going to allow you to just break away and then his investment gets stuck $19 billion. Now. We know that Nigeria guaranteed that loan for him, but Dangote did not own all the money. And I know that because I have someone that walked inside that project and told me a lot. And I don't have to go into details. I'm talking about lawyers that sat on round table. How are we doing with time? Almost 2 hours. So we have the last hour left. Let's go back again. So, Dr. Richard Montgomery, the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, also fún wa pé àwọn British minister táwọn sọ fún wa fẹ́ kúrò nínú Nigeria, and you think they are going to listen to you. Yoruba nation, yes. Yoruba nation now. They are now responding positively well to the policy of Bola Tinubu. It's 8:30 and the weather is still very bright. That shows that in tó ń lọ lọ́dọ̀ tí yín ó yàtọ̀ sí tó ń lọ ní bíbá. Ilẹ̀ ti ṣú rẹpẹtẹ ní Nàìjíríà. Gbogbo ẹ̀ ló sì mọ́ kẹ́kẹ́kẹ́kẹ́ ní aago 8:30 àbọ̀. Ibi tá a fi ń sọ pé in tó ń lọ láyé kan ọ̀tọ̀ ní láyé míì. Dr. Montenegro said the British ministers are responding positively to the policies of President Bola Tinubu administration, including removal of fuel subsidy and unification of the foreign exchange rate. The British High Commissioner said he discussed with the Vice President on the measure to cushion the effect of the President's first policy, like the subsidy removal. He said, I was in London last week and I was briefing my ministers, and I was also talking to British businesses in the finance, banking, investment sectors, and they are responding very positively to the first decision. We know that there are tough times with inflation and unemployment. The Vice President and I also touched on some of the measures that might be possible to cushion some of these economic pressures. Montenegro expressed confidence that the reforms of the new administrations in Nigeria will help place the country on a greater path. The big issue is that these reforms helped out Nigeria on higher, greater path will attract more investment, and the United Kingdom and the City of London see Nigeria as a big opportunity going forward, is stated. You can see why it would take 20 years if care is not taken. The British do not see the breakup of Nigeria at this particular time. But we will not stop telling them it is better now to save that future that they are thinking of. Oh, better, listen. So that's my first 2 hours. I now need to talk about our local government as my second part of the program. Local government. I'm still going to focus back again on Kwara. We talked about Kwara State yesterday, so I'm going to touch again on Kwara. Kwara, let's go and look at the population. Let's go with the population of Kwara State. So when we say Kwara State, we talk about the population. So the population, we know that they have 16 local government. So according to the information that I have, as at 2022, if I am right from what I'm looking up here, Kwara population is 3,551,000. That is just a country in some of those European around the world. You can name as many from Belgium, all these smaller countries. You know, they're less than 3 million. And a very good evening and welcome to the live transmission. My name again is Olamiko Iki, and this is where we talk about issues affecting our people and the reason why you are not surviving in Nigeria, because your local government is not functioning to the fullest. Even your state governor in Kwara State, only instead of 5 working days. A system that is not working in the first place. What one rather than you can tell that you and Nigeria are joking. Every one of you are jokers. Yawa great Yoruba nation, thank you. Yawa Beauty Mokwe and the rest of you, is because Oroyen Uba serious, focus. At more population, Kwara projection is about 33,433 kilometer area, 106.2 km2 population density, 2.6% annual population change from 2006 to 2022. So let's talk about Kwara before we start looking at some of the other things I want to talk about. According to Wikipedia, Kwara State, Yoruba Ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara, a state in western Nigeria, border in the east by Kogi State, to the north by Niger State, and to the south by Ekiti, Osun, and Oyo State. While its western border makes up part of the international border with Benin Republic, its capital is the city of Ilorin, and the state has 16 local government. Ìbéèrè tí mò ń bi gbogbo èèyàn ọmọ Yorùbá ní ìrọ̀lẹ́ yìí, òun ni pé ǹjẹ́ sure pé 186 billion ó tó yín fún bọ́jẹ̀tì Kwara State according to the news report? 189 ni wọ́n present. Ǹjẹ́ wọ́n mọ̀ pé 189 billion yẹn kò tí wà enough for one local government ní Kwara State? And kí ni àwọn local government yẹn a máa dárúkọ gbogbo ẹ̀ nísìn ó kù díẹ̀. Its capital city of Ilorin and the state has 16 local government areas. Of the 36 states of Nigeria, Kwara is the 9th largest in area, but the 6th least populous, with an estimated population of 3.2 million as of 2016. Geographically, Kwara State is split between the western Sudanian savanna in the west and the Guinea forest savanna Mosik eco region in the rest of the state. Important geographic features of the state include rivers, with the Niger flowing along the northern border into Lake Jeba before continue as the border, while the Afun, Asa, Aluko, Onyu rivers flow through the interior. These are all our waterways that will make the best for us. And àwọn èèyàn mọ tó ń pè ní reason tá a ṣe fẹ́ country tiwa. These are all the opportunities tó máa mú ètò ìlọsíwájú lọ́jọ́ iwájú fún wa. Àwa la máa control territory yẹn. Èyí tí Nigerian Navy tí kò fi ní time láti wá bá wa yanjú gbogbo problem tá à ń rí nínú territory wa. Àwa máa ní Navy tiwa, a máa ní military tiwa, a máa ní gbogbo defense security, including using the latest technology, infrared, thermal, helicopter. Tí nǹkan kan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ ládùúgbò yìí nísìn, helicopter máa jáde. Tó bá jẹ́ pé n tí wọ́n fi pé plane tó ń lọ nísìn lójú òfurufú, tó bá rí pé plane yẹn kò dáhùn ọ̀dá lóhùn, fighter jet máa gbéra within 10 seconds. Búù! Ó ti débi ìbàdàn. Ó dẹ̀ máa sọ pé tó o bá sọ̀kalẹ̀, ó máa bọ́n bẹ̀ dànù ní látòkè. Kò má bàa destroy wa níbí báyìí. Security is not something you joke with, but Nigerians are still hoping that Kwara State will be the best under your governor, under your president, under your senators, under your House of Reps, under your speaker, with 189 billion naira for the budget for 16 local government. Let's continue. Kwara State has been inhabited for years by various ethnic groups, primarily the majority Yoruba people that live throughout the state, but there are sizable minorities of Nupe people in the northeast, Bariba, Batonu, and the Busa, Bokobaru people in the west, and a small Fulani population in Ilorin. Moving through the state as a nomadic herders. In the pre-colonial period, majority of the area that is now Kwara State was part of the Oyo Empire, with the part of the western portion in the Bogu Kingdom. People by the Bariba, Boko, Bisa people, and the Nupe Kingdom between 1531 and 1835. There was nothing called Nigeria then as at 1835. What a very shame that some Yoruba people want us to forget about all these, because Lugard called us Nigerians, or Nigeria, and we are so pleased with that. That Omo Yoruba ń sọ fún wa lénìí pé ẹ shut up. Yorùbá, àmì kọ́mọ Yorùbá máa ń sọ pé Yorùbá nation wọn lẹ́ ń béèrè fún lẹ́nu wọn. Ní 1531 títí dé 1835, ìtàn ẹ̀ là ń gbọ́ ní bíbá. In the mid-1800 or 18th century, 1800s, 19th century ni wọ́n ṣẹ̀ sọ Nàìjíríà. So for over 100 years, kò sí nǹkan kan tó ń jẹ́ Nàìjíríà. Prior to that, kò sí nǹkan kan tó ń jẹ́ Nàìjíríà. But for the selfish interest, bí ṣe sọ fún ilé nǹkan, the bilateral relationship, the project of Nigeria, and today, àwọn tó yẹ kó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Yorùbá, àwọn tó yẹ kó dá sí, àwọn ló tún wá ń bí àwa pé Yorùbá country wo lẹ́ ń fẹ́, ṣèbí gbogbo àti wà nù Nàìjíríà. Gbogbo ibi tó ti wá tẹ́lẹ̀ ká fix Nàìjíríà. And that is why ẹ lè ṣoríire ní Kwara, kò ń ṣe pé ni mo ṣe fún yín. Torí pé budget yẹn kò lè ka yín, kò tó yín ná. 189 billion òun ló yẹ kí local government kankan ní lọ́wọ́ kó lè máa fi run operation, hospital, education, welfare, system, database ọmọ tó bá bí lẹ́ni wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ fi sínú system pé a ti bímọ kò ń ṣe pé kọ́ ṣèkó mọ́ nìkan kọ́mọ ẹ kó má lálùbáríkà àwọn máa gbàdúrà kọ́ lọ́njẹ́ orí lálùbáríkà àlùmọ́lò ti fẹ́ lálùbáríkà ẹ máa tanra yín. That is why you are poor. That is why you are not going to survive up to the age of 60. Èmi kọ́ mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ èyí tí World Bank sọ WHO World Health Organization ó ní gbogbo ẹ̀yin Nigerians ó ní life span yín kò ń ṣe àtọkùnrin SPAN ó ní kò ní ju 53 lọ. If you survive it, praise whatever you need to praise, whether it's Jesus Christ, whether it's Anabi Muhammad, whether it's your Isheshe. I'm talking about Kwara. In the mid-1800s, the Fulani Jihad annexed some part of the people and the Nupe Kingdom. No, sorry, I'm mix it up. In the mid-1800s, the Fulani Jihad annexed some part of what is now the state of Kwara and placed the area under the Gwandu spear of the Sokoto Caliphate. In the 1890s up to the 1900s, the British expedition occupied the area and then incorporated it into the Northern Nigeria Protectorate. And people, I hope with Tinubu, ìpàdé tó ń ṣe kò tún ṣe ìpàdé kó lock wa mọ́. Èyí tó máa ọ̀nbọ́ndù wa ló yẹ kó pọ̀ jù nínú nǹkan tó bá ń bá wọn sọ. Even tó o bá sọ síta fún gbogbo èèyàn kó gbọ́. Because if not, one day, let me just keep that. Wọ́n ní kó wa lọ lẹ́rú, but I just pray that ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa understand nǹkan tá à ń sọ. Fulani, wọ́n ti ń penetrate gbogbo Kwara yẹn. Whether the good ones, the bad ones, the ugly ones, and they are becoming, they are reproducing very fast. Fulani lè bímọ 30 kò ṣe obìnrin kankan ló máa fi fún kò sí kíní ọmọ yẹn ò bá kú ó tún gun sí lọ sọ́run fẹ́ lòmíì, but àwa ń sùn ọmọ kan ló bí nísìn ó ń struggle kí ló kan Fulani tó bá ti dá bọ́lẹ̀ bòbòbòbòbò ẹran tó bá ń gbé lọ yẹn ibi tẹ́ran yẹn bá dà sí ló ń gbà lọ́kọ̀ ó lè má padà wálé mọ́. Ìyẹn ló ṣe pọ̀ bí iyẹ̀pẹ̀ tí wọ́n ń tọ́jú ọmọ. So ẹ mọ̀ báyìí tí ṣe statistics yẹn èyí ọmọ tí Fulani tí wọ́n ń gbé pẹ̀lú wa tán ní àwọn good ones tán reproduce pẹ̀lú àwa tí di òyìnbó àti di òyìnbó náà àfi bímọ ju méjì lọ iṣẹ́ ni àfi bímọ ju mẹ́ta lọ torí kíni àfi máa copy western life no a lè lo ìyẹn ṣẹgbọ́n kan tí bàbá yẹn sọ lánàá ìyẹn Professor Wiwi, we cannot copy them. Àwọn obìnrin wa nínú wa ti ṣe mẹ́ta ní wọn ti tó torí kíni torí pé is a western life là ń gbé. Àwọn bàbá tó bí àwa wọ́n dálẹ̀ rẹpẹtẹ ni wọ́n dẹ̀ rí nǹkan fi tọ́jú wọn wọ́n dẹ̀ ní láti lọ ṣe rituals òbí tó pọ̀ rẹpẹtẹ ó dẹ̀ tọ́jú gbogbo wọn látòkè délẹ̀ àfi tíyàwó yẹn ò bá ní làákàyè nìkan lọ́mọ ní kò ní survive. And if I look back at all my sisters, my aunties, sisters, brothers, every one of us survived, even after the man died at a very young age, because ó groom àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ dáadáa pẹ̀lú ìtóní. But lẹ́yìn nísìn ẹni tó bá ti bímọ méjì á náà wọ́n fẹ́ bímọ mọ́ á pàdé mọ́ ẹ wá ní kọ́kùnrin yẹn kó má lọ ṣe èmi ò condone ṣìnà. It's because we are following the Western life. Kí la fẹ́ máa follow Western life fún? A kì í ṣe òyìnbó. Ọmọ Yorùbá ni wá. A kì í ṣe òyìnbó. Christianity kan ni wá, a dẹ̀ ń ṣe Muslim. Ìṣẹ̀ṣe ni wá, ó dẹ̀ aláwẹ̀, kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn. Culture wa ni. Àwa pa culture yẹn tì. Àwọn ni ẹ, one man to one woman. Nítorí òyìnbó fẹ́ nìyẹn. But ṣé mọ̀ pé King Charles fúnra rẹ̀ ṣé ọ̀pọ̀ ń gun sí fún lẹ́yìn nígbà tó ní Diana tí Diana wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ àbẹ́ ẹ̀gbẹ́ gbogbo tán yẹn àní láti wọnú ẹ̀ gbogbo ilẹ̀ sáà àwọn bàbá wọn níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn ṣe mọ oríṣìí tó ṣe dá Church of England sílẹ̀ ẹ lọ sí bí àwọn tó ń ṣe life in UK mo mọ̀ èèyàn kan tó ṣẹ̀ ṣe tiẹ̀ tó bá ti ń kàkàkàkà báyìí tó bá débi Church of England yẹn báyìí bàbá yẹn ló lọ dá Church of England sílẹ̀ nígbà tó sọ fún pé kò ní má rí ẹlòmíì. This is part of the damage tó ti ṣe fún wa wọ́n ti bà ayé wa jẹ́ gan. Ìyàwó kan obìnrin kan obìnrin dẹ̀ sùn lọ rẹpẹtẹ. Yes, almost finished, but you need to go bed now. School tomorrow. Love you. Wọ́n gbọ́ original lọ́wọ́ wa àwọn gba ifá dání sọ́wọ́ ṣé ẹ mọ̀ kán dífá nílùú lójoojúmọ́ ẹ̀yìn àtẹ̀ máa pa mí láwọn èèyàn bá ní àwọn lọ church àwọn ọlọ́mọṣẹ́ láṣọ ń ṣàṣà látòkiri ojoojúmọ́ ló ń dífá fún ọba ojoojúmọ́ ló ń dífá fún ẹ máa tanra yín gbogbo àmọ̀ tán ìyàwó tí ọba fẹ̀fẹ̀ nísìn no ẹ ò mọ̀ tán ẹ èmi ni máa ṣe máa kà á fún ẹ ẹnu tèmi ni kò ti gbọ́ pé ìyá Jésù kú lọ sórí Google kó lọ Google ẹ pé Diana kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ pẹ̀lú Diana Diana nìkan máa dárúkọ pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Diana èmi ni kò máa bí. Culture wa yàtọ̀ òyìnbó ló ṣe ń sọ fún wa culture wa ó yàtọ̀ culture wa ó ṣe kí ni ó yàtọ̀ inú ilé mi ni kẹ́ máa gbọ́n tí mò ń sọ pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ mi pé òyìnbó ni mò ń sọ sí wọn ìyìn tí mò ń sọ látẹ̀kan nísìn comment it shows that our àtàrọ̀ tí mo ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn ara àbí obìnrin ní ọkùnrin ní comment láti reference nǹkan tí mo sọ torí mo sọ fọ́mọ yẹn pé go and sleep nísìn wọ́n ní so you speak English to your kids ìbéèrè èyí tí mo sọ látẹ̀kan ẹnìyàn comment can you imagine àníṣe lòmíì bí mo ṣe máa ṣe fídíò inú ilé mi máa gbé fún yín kẹ́ lè máa wò à ń sọ̀rọ̀ tó wà láti 2 hours láti wà lórí program comment so èyí tí mo sọ sọmọ mi yẹn nísìn ìyẹn lẹfẹ dìmú ta ló ń pè wọlé àlélẹ àwọn lórí program mo wà lórí live show mo lè sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn so mo kàn it's just a I'm not action you mo kàn sọ ni I mean wọ́n gbọ́ Yorùbá but kò sí báyé bí ṣe a máa sọ English sí wọn so it's a normal thing England ni mò ń gbé bọ̀wọ́ gbọ́ Yorùbá bọ̀wọ́ gbọ́ dáadáa àwọn tó gbọ́nú wọ́n ń gbọ́ kí ni mo fẹ́ fàyọ níbẹ̀ we have been deceived Britain ti gbé irọ́ pátápátá ló gbélé wa lọ́wọ́ wọ́n gbélé wa lọ́wọ́ lọ ní pé àwọn làwọn how can they say that River Niger was found by Mungo Park ṣé mọ̀ pé River Niger yẹn was mentioned here now tí bá padà sókè ibo mo ti rí River Niger yẹn nísìnyí. Features of the include rivers with the Niger flowing. Wọ́n wá ní òyìnbó kan ló wá ó gbéra láti ìlú tiẹ̀ so nígbà tó dé àwọn bàbá wa tó bá níbẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn explore bẹ̀ yẹn rí ṣẹ́rí wọ́n tẹ̀ máa ń sọ bí àtẹ́ pé ṣèbáwá náà máa ń ní àwọn olú ọdẹ ṣé wọn káwọn olú ọdẹ wà níjọ́ náà lọ́n gbogbo àwọn ọdẹ ti sìn wọ́n ní ọdẹ ti sìn ọdẹ yahoo gan ló wà lágbègbè nísìn ọdẹ gan wọnú gbó lọmọ nísìn ọdẹ gan dúró sáàrin títì báyìí ni wọ́n wọ́n ẹmọ tó máa pa ṣé wọn pé ìtàn tá a gbọ́ ni pé àwọn bàbá kan wà wọ́n máa wọnú gbó lọ ìmí máa lọ for months kódà ìmí wọ́n máa ti rò pé ó ti kú ó dìgbà tó bá dé padà lọ máa realize pé wow so nínú igbó yẹn lọ ti máa ń dictate bọ ẹ mọ̀ pé torí pé a kọ ìtàn yẹn sílẹ̀ dáadáa èyí tá a dẹ̀ kọ sílẹ̀ Britain in tó ṣe fún wọn ní Benin Kingdom oh my God wọ́n destroy everything destroyable. Wọ́n fi iná sí gbó. Ṣé mọ̀ pé building àwọn ará ògiri tẹ̀ ń wò yìí? Ṣé mọ̀ pé normally Benin Kingdom yẹn a lè lọ ṣègbókúta. Máa wà fascinated because máa ń fẹ́ wo àwọn helicopter tó máa ń lọ lókè. Because ìmí wà àwọn military helicopter ni, ìmí just normal helicopter ni, mo dẹ̀ máa ń dá sound wọn mọ̀. Ṣé mọ̀ pé n tó ṣe pẹ̀lú Benin Empire, wọ́n destroy gbogbo ẹ̀ débi pé wọ́n jó so many things nítorí pé wọn ò fẹ́ jẹ́ ká trace òkúta yìí kó lè fún wa ní rẹ́kọ̀dì pé ìjọba yìí ni wọ́n mold ẹ̀. Technology ti wà nísìn, tó bá gbé sínú scanner ó ṣàyẹ̀yìn, it can detect this. So what am I trying to explain? I'm just focusing now. Mo fẹ́ máa ṣe focus on each of our states. Àti pé, are we going to have enough with the current state of situation, even before the breakup of Nigeria, to maintain the lifestyle of our people? When I say your lifestyle, look, British government does not mean your lifestyle is logba sky sinule kò sí kan tó kan British government. Your children must be fed, they must be kept in the warmth, they must be able to have drinking water. British government rán mi ṣẹ́ pé kí n ra omi yìí o, omi tó ń jáde nínú pipe is drinkable. Àwa là ń ṣe akọ o, àwọn kan mọ omi tó jáde nínú pipe o, àwọn kan máa ń filter. Ṣèbómi yẹn náà la fi ń boil omi tea. So, but it's because àwa ti use more a kind of life. Amashako, Volvic water ni mo fẹ́. If you are being supported by the government, you are meant to just be able to eat and keep your family in the warmth. My question, Timon, bí àwọn tiwa nísìn ni pé, Kwara State as a government or as a state, wọ́n ní àwọn ní 189 billion naira for 2023 budget. Lọ́kàn ara yín, èyí tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi lálẹ́ yìí, do you think that that is enough to run the affairs of the people? Ǹjẹ́ ó tó wá ná láti fi tọ́jú àwọn èèyàn wa? How do you think Kwara State would have been able to be like ìlú wo ló wà under 3 million? Ẹ fún mi ní ìlú just under 3 million, between 2 to 3 million. Tó dẹ̀ ṣe dáadáa níta. Why is Kwara State not able to perform the same magic that countries outside? The first thing is you must be able to look after your people. Sherry, tomorrow is Monday. There are some lazy goats. They are not going to work. You know why? Ó ṣe mọtí yó lálẹ́ yìí, ó máa resume ní 6 o'clock láàárọ̀ ọ̀la. Tó bá di 4, á wá pebi iṣẹ́, á call sick. While some, ìjọ kan máa wà, máa tún tètè jí láàárọ̀. Màá kàn gbé trabayé, màá gbé lọ sí area kan. Màá wá show yín ní how people move in the morning láti bí 4 o'clock. You need a system that works. Kosovo, okay, wọ́n ní Kosovo. Thank you so much. I've not been reading the comment because I've been behind the scene, but I've just been monitoring, apart from on Instagram, and I'm monitoring. Young Khan is there. We have been deceived and still being deceived to date. Omar Shiobeni, Babami, and thank you so much, T-Stone. One bell size, the Djibouti and Malta. These countries might not even have enough like what Kwara State have. Kwara State might not have everything like Malta. Malta, let me type in Malta. Malta, case study. Thank you so much, T-Stone. So Malta has its own dialing code. The population is even way lower than Kwara State. It's about 518,000 people that speak their own language, Maltese. Now, in Jamaica run government, yes. Let's look at their GDP. Do you know that their GDP as of 2021 was 17.36 billion US dollars? Why is Kwara State not making enough? Nítorí pé ó wà lábẹ́ Nàìjíríà. Ṣé rí yẹn lásán, ó ti knock Kwara State from not developing to the pace and make sure that they can look after everyone within that 16 local government. Because that 16 local government is meant to be a functioning local government, not a dead local government. Because what we saw yesterday, for those of you that follow Koiki Media team in Ofa, replicate almost the same thing up to Ilorin. Maybe there'll be just few skemsy. What? Baba wa concern video can see me láti Ilorin. I'm sure some of you saw it. I don't know whether I posted it on Instagram yet, where a woman was sweeping in the rain in Kwara. That was Ilorin. And that video is not an old video. That was a video that was sent to me yesterday. You know, it's the rainy season now in Nigeria. So what am I trying to say to our people is that if Malta, a country with a population of 500,000, is making 17, me convert 189 billion. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ mọ̀ mass. Ẹ bá mi dá padà sí dollar, so that can you understanding it, you know, in the dollar rate, whatever rate you want to use. Thank you so much for those of you. We're just 1 hour to the end of the program, and then we're gonna go, you know, it's just coming up to 9, so we're just under an hour left. Kini 189 billion dollar. Is it close to close in town Malta making it? That's all. Do you think $17 billion is 189? Maybe I should say that way. Say $17 billion. Loma Fuani 189 billion naira. Anyway, hopefully I'll get somebody that can work the maths. So you can now see the reason why Kwara State is struggling. Kwara State will continue to struggle regardless of whoever is your governor, regardless of whatever their mission, their agenda, you know, whatever they are planning to make life at ease for the people in Kwara State, whether they are Yoruba, they are Igbo, they are Kanuris, they are whoever, they are Fulanis that are living there. And the lies that will be told is that Kwara State will develop one day. But nobody is telling you when exactly is it going to develop. Is it going to be in our lifetime? Because if it's going to be in our lifetime, it is not likely to happen anytime soon. Let's go back again and read more about the history of Kwara. So this way we'll be reading the history. So tomorrow I might just start our lecture this coming week will be focused on our state and their budget. So that's about 458. Is that $1 million? I guess that would be 189. So that's 458 plus 6 zeros. So is that $458 million? I believe. Thank you so much. So that will be about $458 million. Okay, almost. Well, somebody said 250 million here. So we're almost at the same, depending on which exchange rate they are using, because Nigeria is different exchange rate. So yeah, thank you so much. So $1 million. So it's not even up to fraction of what Malta is making. So could I pay $1 billion? Damn, man. God damn it. Kilo for Malta the revenue. Let me go and see what is kilo for the revenue. Revenue. What is their revenue? So, okay, there's a lot of tax in Malta, so people are paying a lot of tax. What is tax revenue of? No, let me phrase it this way. What gives Malta its revenue? Yeah. Wow. Do you know what gives them? Are you living in Malta, T-Stone? Because it seems that you gave us the Malta, so you must. Koiki, your explanation about all this is making me to cry for my people. We are in a deep mess. We are inside a dungeon. Deep mess. The barrel on other language. Thank you so much, T-Stone. I appreciate it. Waris in the fish industry. Let me read what is giving them revenue according to the Google or Wikipedia. Economy of Malta. Let me read this now briefly. The economy of Malta is a highly sharing a lason otinoki, even all the Yoruba land, is a highly industrialized service-based economy. Do you know that Bola Tinubu told our brother, Yoruba people, hold on. Yoruba people will always say everybody's our brother, even if you don't know them. Let's listen again.
I commended him for his boldness, his vision, his determination with regard to having the inaugural inauguration lecture for His Excellency the President. I commended his boldness in removing the very inefficient fuel subsidies that Nigeria has. And, no bird can fly if his wings are tied at his back. And therefore, that will really help Nigeria significantly. And I think the whole issue of correcting the exchange rate distortions that Nigeria has will also free up the access to forex and also make Nigeria's currency much more competitive in terms of export competitiveness for the things that we produce. All those are right signals that the president is sending, which investors like, with the international community likes, which will also attract significant amount of investment into Nigeria. I discussed with His Excellency the President about a couple of things. First, of course, is agriculture, to see what we can do to support the government with regard to the President's vision in agriculture. We discussed about special agro-industrial processing zones, for which we already have about $520 million and for Nigeria, and how
it's talking about $520 million. And going back to Malta, we are comparing Malta as a country with 500,000 with Kwara State that is 3.2 million, or less capita 3 million. Excuse me. The economy of Malta is highly industrialized. They put the word highly, Highly. That is what Nigeria should have got when we were oil boom. We were making money from oil. They should have industrialized every local government. So today, people would have been fighting me to say, Koiki, shut up. So, anytime Bamija, them bimis, them bawaja pé afẹ́ Yorùbá nation ní sí o, Nigeria la fẹ́. Nigeria is not highly industrialized. Kò sí forget about even Lagos State. Kò síbi kankan tó wà highly industrialized. Yes, they are producing certain things. We can see that. One produce the Guinness, one produce Indomie, one produce the basic thing they're producing. But when we talk about highly, we are not talking about just one particular state. I want Kwara State, a 16 local government, where every part of that local government is highly industrialized. Do you think that it can happen in the 4 years first term of Bola Tinubu plus another 4 years if he gets the same ticket and wins? Because that is subject to if Nigerians are going to vote a different party. That's if they don't rig it anyway. So what I understand what so it's not about me Ajila Ro Ako and farm. No, that farm is not mechanized. Mechanized. And even if you are taking every sector in that local government, every local government generate láti fi make sure pé àwọn náà máa fi tọ́jú aráàlú. So let's go and look into Malta. The economy of Malta is highly industrialized service based. Let's go and find the meaning of kí ló ń pè ní service base, because òyìnbó yẹn fẹ́ pọ̀ jù fẹ́mi. So let's just go and look at the meaning of service base. So meaning of service base in English is used to describe an activity that is based on services, doing things for customers rather than on manufacturing. So they are not even manufacturing as much, but they are service based. The biggest change in the US labor market has been the transformation from an industry base to service base. And I'll give you an example. Let's go and look at, okay, what is a service-based business? Let's look at that. What is a service-based business? A service-based business is a company that performs tasks. Company don't share in fún for the benefit of their customer. These tasks can include transportation, cleaning, traveling, hospitality, maintenance, and consultant. The question is, why is all these difficult láti ṣe ní Kwara State, a 16 local government? Kí ló dé tó ṣe difficult? Kí ló dé tí Kwara, okay, ní kankan, kí ló dé tí kò jẹ́ service base tó máa wá máa ṣiṣẹ́ fún other states and other African countries and other European countries and other Asian countries and so on and so forth. And a service base is the same thing like tourism. It's the same thing like when I call, this is my sky. You can see the pole. That's the pole here. And what signal in. So I made a call. That call took me to a service base in Bulgaria. If Kwara State was a state that is functioning, Kwara ló yẹ kó máa gbarú business yẹn. So àwọn èèyàn kàn máa jí láàárọ̀ tí ẹni pé kó lọ sí ọ́fíìsì tí kọ̀ǹpútà wà, tẹlifóònù wà. Hello, how are you? What's wrong with your credit card? Okay, somebody spent it. I hope it's not from Kwara because there are so many fraudsters, criminals. Imagine you pay Kwara for service base. Okay, customer must have. I hope it is not in Nigeria. Nigeria is a crazy country. I pity youths. You want to get to university, but there's no job by the time you come out. I am talking about one state now in Yoruba land. You think it's a joke. You count it as nothing. You are not concerned. You care less. Call it tech, Mukedada. You are cursing us. You are abusing me because I am telling you the truth. You will never get a full, proper job in Kwara State. It's not a cause. You will get jobs, but you will get what I called a non-sector job. Okada riding is not a job. Keke Napel is not a job. Do you know that Kwara State can be the hub? Mukiyawa Amdalat. It could have been the hub for the postal service because Owani is a section of Nigeria that only Mabaragbe post Losi north, southeast, southwest. But because Nigeria is not a country. Again, let's go back to Malta because we are now 2 hours, 24 minutes. I might probably open the phone line for 30 minutes. So let me just quickly give you the last part of the. So now, at the understanding the economic of Malta, Malta is a highly industrialized service-based economy. Wọ́n ṣe manufacturing, àti mọ̀ yàtọ̀ manufacturing àti service. Service ni pé ó ra fóònù yìí nísìn. Shut up. O ti ra fóònù yìí. O wá download the Zoom. Èèyàn mélòó ló ti lo Zoom láàrin gbogbo wa? At least almost everybody at some point, especially during the COVID. mo kí ẹ Maize Gold. Ǹjọ́ mọ̀ pé Zoom yẹn package wà, ọ̀fẹ́ wà. Ẹ lọ sí àwọn Zoom meeting kan, ẹ kọ́ rí kó disconnect, àwọn ní 40 minutes nìyẹn, ọ̀fẹ́ nìyẹn bá dé. But ìwọ tó ń sanwó bí irú àwa báyìí, I paid every month about £20 or somewhere around there. I can't remember now. Ṣó mọ̀ pé tí Zoom mi ò bá ṣiṣẹ́, kí lẹ rò pé máa ṣe? Màá pe Qualitech, because Qualitech òun ló wà ní Kwara ní Ọ̀fà tó gba contract lọ́wọ́ Zoom. Ẹni tó ní Zoom Amẹ́ríkà ló wà, but ó ń wá cheap labour. Ó wá gbé customer base of Zoom, ó gbé lọ sí Kwara State. So Qualitech òun ní contractor, òun ló gbà lọ́wọ́ Zoom. Ó wá ṣe kó 5,000 people, kò mí ìpọ́jọ́ ọmọdé, kò ní ìdíwọ́ ọ̀jọ́bìnrin, mixture. Ó train yín pé tí bọ̀bọ́ kan bá pè láti London, oníwàhálà ni, oníjọ̀gbọ̀n ni, Kóìkì ni, wọ́n lè ti mọ̀ wá kan lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan tá a bá ń pe customer service. Wọ́n máa ń mọ̀ wá, wọ́n máa ti fi sórí system pé tí bọ̀bọ́ yẹn bá ti pè. I'll give you another example tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀lẹ̀ sí mi and I have proof. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n kọ́kọ́ fi ti Zoom yẹn. Ṣé mọ̀ pé tó bá yẹ pé Kwara State is a service-based or highly industrialized state, òun ló yẹ kó gba contract yẹn. Ẹni tó gba contract yẹn, torí Qualitech òun ti lọ sí business summit, ó ti pàdé wọn pé ẹ ń sanwó fún South Africa, èló lẹ́ ń san fún South Africa, bákọ̀ ẹ máa bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ tiwa ní Kwara, ẹ ń san $5 fún $10 fún South Africa, àwa ṣe fún yín ní $7. Ṣé o mọ̀ pé investor yẹn máa tètè máa bọ̀? Ṣé o fi pé investor tó ń san owó fún South Africa ní service base, ṣé o fi pé máa gbé wá sí Kwara State? No, mò ń bi yín ni, ṣé ìwọ fi pé máa gbé wá sí Kwara State? Kò lè gbé wá sí Kwara State because ẹ ní 24 hours electricity tó fẹ́ fi power technology tẹ máa fi. Okay, táwọn bá fún yín ní satellite, which ó yẹ kí ìlú ti wá ní. Okay, wọ́n ti open satellite because kí ni ẹ need satellite. Wọ́n fún wa ní satellite, but ẹ ní iná tí ẹ fẹ́ fi connect pẹ̀lú èmi ní London. So you can see why we are saying that Nigeria is a backward country. Tinubu kọ̀ pé industrializing tí kò lè ṣe. Gbogbo etí Fẹ́mi Akínwùmí sọ yẹn, òfútù fẹ́ tẹ̀ ní, kò lè ṣẹlẹ̀. Let's go further. It is classified as an advanced economy. Ìlú tí kò ju 500,000 lọ, what classify it as an advanced economy by the IMF, International Monetary Fund, and is considered a high-income country by the World Bank, and also an innovation-driven economy. Ṣé rí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wá ń lé mo kíyà mi Comfort Ológunjà, wọ́n ní Barbados is 274,200 population, doing very well. St. Lucia is 166,526,000 in population. Grenada is 103,308 in population. Dominica is 71,293 in population. They are even less than 500,000. Ṣeré ìtẹ̀ wà nílé. But understand, ìfẹ́ tẹ́ ní sáwọn politicians yìí, but our politicians here, they are not thinking in the direction of industrializing the state and the local government, because one ní capacity láti ṣe under the Nigeria system, and most importantly under the fraudulent military diktat 1999 constitution. So even if Tinubu is up there as the federal, ẹ mọ̀ pé Tinubu nìkan la kàn ń sọ̀rọ̀ ní gbogbo ìgbà, a máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ̀rọ̀ nípa state level nísìn. Governor yín ní Kwara State àti deputy governor, they cannot operate the state without going through the directive of a federal system, tan law, which is a fraud anyway, because there's nothing called federal in Nigeria. It's a fraud. But let's go further quickly. It is a member also of the European Union and of the Eurozone, having formally adopted the euro on the 1st of January 2008. Let me look at something. Báwo ni Malta ṣe gba independent one? Let's go and look at that. It will be interesting to see. How did Malta gain independent? Summary: Malta was a crown colony. Britain again. Britain. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi àtàtà. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi àtàtà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, African DZ123, you're right. Even additional ló sọ fún rẹ̀ pé Nigeria ò ní develop in 300 years. Ó gbọ́dọ̀ máa ga Tinubu now. Kí lẹ expect? Ẹ̀tàn ni, ó ń ga Tinubu. Níbo ni Tinubu ti fẹ́ rí trillions? Ó ní the trillions of dollars láti fi inject sínú Nigeria, láti fi ṣe the industrialized service base, not even manufacturing base. Summary: Malta was a crown colony of the United Kingdom from 1814. Kò tí sí Nigeria ní 1814. Àìtí ní kankan tó ń jẹ́ Nigeria until 1964, when it was granted independence and joined the British Commonwealth. Malta was recognized by the United States the same year that it gained independence and became a republic in 1964. Kí ló dé tá a gba independent direct tá a fi lọ gba Nigeria? Kí ló dé tó fún wa ní independent? Ọba ti fún wa ní Nigeria, ìtọ́ fi fún wa Nigeria wá fún wa ní individual independent, even though pé regional government náà lọ fún wa. Why did Malta become independent? The bravery of the Maltese people during the World War II was acknowledged by King George, who awarded the whole population of Malta his George Cross for Valor, V-A-L-O-U-R, after the war. The movement for self-determination grew stronger, and finally, Malta was granted independence on September 21st, 1964. That is 3 years. Lókù táwọn Biafra máa fi dọ́gun sílẹ̀ páwọn fẹ́ lọ. 4 years after the fraudulent independence. A ti wà nínú problem gan, kò ń ṣe lénìí. It's just unfortunate that a lot of us were not briefed as we are being briefed right now. In time breakdown lójoojúmọ́ ìtàn akọ̀rán sọ yìí. Tó bá jẹ́ pé yẹn la kọ̀ lọ ṣe ní university nìkan, ní secondary school nìkan, so many of us will not be interested in Nigeria. Let me open the phone line just for half an hour so that we can just take calls. If not, I will just be, moving around until I will end the program. Oh boy. That's one chance. One chance, Gidila won in Nigeria. It's a pity. Let me just read some of your comments. Yawa Mofoluake. If 99.9% of the population go praying 24/7 without thinking of including how to industrialize the place, majority wouldn't access meaningful living. You're right. Paro. Wọ́n ní ká lọ máa gbàdúrà nílùú tí kò ní service base, tí kò manufacture kankan. Àwọn èèyàn wá gbọ́kadà látàárọ̀ á pa 7,000 àbí 4,000. A sanwó ọmọ nílẹ̀, sanwó days. When they can utilize that sector to make it work, because tí bá dìde nísìn, àwọn forces ló ṣì ń lọ ládùúgbò mi. Èyí tó máa rìn 24 hours wà. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n tó dìde díẹ̀ torí mo ti jókòó tó pẹ́ díẹ̀. Kí n fi stretch ẹsẹ̀ mi. A máa parí ètò Àìlédùmarè in just under. Ìwọ náà wo sórí òfurufú yẹn bó ṣe clear. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà níbà ṣáà ń òfurufú. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà níbà nìkan lè rí. So let me bring this one here like this. Ṣẹ́yìn náà rí òfurufú yẹn, ẹ ṣáà rí bó ṣe mo lè yọ chájà yẹn, bó ṣì lè last. Ẹ ṣáà rí òfurufú, ẹ ṣáà rí bó ṣe ń rí, gbogbo ilẹ̀ ṣáà rí ojú ọ̀run tẹ́yẹ fò pé à ń béèrè fún Yoruba nation kò affect anybody, but wọ́n ò fi jẹ́ ká lọ nítorí pé wọ́n mọ̀ pé jọ́ta bá ti lọ, that will be the end of some of the countries around the world. Wọ́n mọ̀ yẹn dájú, wọ́n mọ̀ yẹn pa péjọ́ ta bá ti lè lọ pẹ́rẹ́ àbọ̀rọ̀ mọ̀ yẹn mo ti jókòó tó pẹ́, so I gotta stand up so that kẹ́jẹ́ lè circulate. Wọ́n mọ̀ péjọ́ ta bá ti lọ, that is the end. Mr. Peter ni, we only live once. It is better to fight for better earth for your unborn generation than accepting slavery, hoping for a virtual heaven nobody has ever seen or been to. Àwọn tó kú nínú submissible yẹn nísìn, wọ́n níbẹ̀ lọ́ máa jẹ́ra sí, kò sẹ́nì kankan tó máa lọ extract wọn. Bọ́ọ̀sì ló sì ń lọ yẹn nísìn, èmi wà ó máa rìn títí di 11, èmi wà 24 hours. So kò mí pé torí pé òun fi pé ọ̀kadà tó ń gùn yẹn òun ní the best option. No, it's not the best option. It's even the worst option. Ọ̀kadà tẹ́ ń gùn yẹn is the worst. Ṣé mọ̀ pé nínú pé Kwara State a sì fi ń ṣe example nísìn, if we have Kwara State as it is, yẹn gbélé wá sókè dé báyìí, right? Tí Kwara bí ṣe wà yẹn, ṣé mọ̀ pé each of the local government ṣé mọ̀ iye tí wọ́n lè generate nínú transportation? Do you know that they can generate so much money? Interstate transportation máa wà, àwọn gbèríko máa wà, and all these will be controlled by one center. Everybody will know. Fóònù mi tí mo fi ń ṣe léè nísìnyí tí mo fi ń ṣe Twitter yìí, òkè ráńpẹ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan bọ̀, mo lè monitor gbà tí bọ́ọ̀sì máa dé bíbá. So let's speak to Bishop, our analyst. Hello, Bishop. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Àwa nìyẹn.
Yeah. No, question that the morning, that's it. Why didn't we have our own independence? Why did we have independence together with
Nigeria? Yes.
Mistake to the mistake came from Awolowo. Okay. They intend to give Yoruba his independence separately in 1957. So it is Awolowo that even delayed us 3 more years, begging the North so that we'll go together. And in the history, they told us, they wrote it down, that even the Queen called Awolowo to England and told Awolowo that these Northerners are different from you people in culture and in everything. Awolowo told them they are my brother. So so it's a lesson for us. When a leader is making mistake, we should stand up and correct the leader sharply. It's not with, it doesn't matter, it doesn't say we hate the leader. No, we should stand up, let the leader know and stand to it. The havoc has been done. So that's the lesson we need to learn now. Concerning our countries, Barbados is 75% Yoruba people.
Okay.
Do you know that?
Barbados.
Okay.
They are 75% Yoruba people. The ambassador of Barbados here in Lagos, the Orukwe is Abiodun something. Yoruba, but these are people that have lost in UK. They are all black Britons. They are Yoruba people, black Britons.
Okay.
And because of that, they say you are free to come to Barbados without visa. That's the country. They make you read to the Commonwealth, to Nigeria map without visa. After 6 months, you cannot collect Barbados paper loan.
Okay.
So, and they are doing well. They are small countries. Àwọn governors nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà wọn nílé ṣiṣẹ́ because of the fraudulent constitution that tí ẹ wo ìgbà tí wọn fún Tinubu ní owó tí Ọbásanjọ́ ti owó ẹ̀ pa allocation ẹ̀. It became creative immediately. Solution jáde fún wọn, they began to work. That was when they realized they needed to build Lagos. They began to create infrastructure, building roads, because they now see transportation as a major revenue for government. So they began to buy BRT buses, creating roads, and making money to Lagos State government from that. They paid tax. Revenue came, and Lagos became the highest revenue in Nigeria. His allocation was not given, and he survived. He pays all his staffs. Kiloshi our orders that they cannot be productive. They are not fruitful. They are why? Because the constitution allowed them to sit, fold their hand, and collect free money from the Abuja every month. That is not federal system. The federal system component units need to generate their resources and have right to control the mineral resources of their land or whatever, and give certain percent to the federal. That's all. So, but nígbà tí tó ń lò ó ní kí wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ fọwọ́ kan gbogbo money wọn. He restrained them from the natural resources. He said everything belongs to Nigeria, as if Nigeria is a personality. As if Nigeria is a company that belongs to some people. And all of them now fold their hands. So from Abuja, they are controlling everything. So whatever they now see that they collect from all these things, they will not share it back. I mean, this is rubbish. It's disgusting talking about it. And those who are eating fat from that process were not even known in their localities. They are not even known. And they can be mixed. They can be either Igbo, or Hausa. That's why you see traitors and people who doesn't want the system to change because they are eating from that corrupt system. And that's why things can such a country like that cannot develop. Development cannot come. Such a country like that.
Very
for
sad.
many older people that are God-forsaken area. I'm so sorry. I'm even thinking people say how they look for just some investors that can dredge close to the sea and just create some land on the sea. It's possible. Dredge close to the sea and dredge. I will place the land on the sea. Tabati and need to be the size of Gambia. Yoruba nation will perpetrate from there and will protect our security and build. Àwọn èèyàn láti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tí Nàìjíríà bá fún wọn máa wá bẹ̀. they'll be creating revenue. I mean, I'm thinking a lot of things, and I'm completely tired of Nigeria. I won't say I'm giving up. Thank you.
Eshigoni. Well, that is one of our commentator. We are 15 minutes to the end of the program. Just to summarize the conversation, okay, Mr. Fab, Waris, thank you. Kunle Bakers, Mr. Clement, Mrs. Temi, our Grandma Grace, GR Ron, Young Khan, Ilano, around the world, Bashegun, and the rest, Dr. Kibion Kosi, and the YSDN. Let me summarize my presentation before I go. Kwara State, ó lè dàbí Malta. Malta, $500,000 ni wọ́n. Revenue wọ́n is $17 billion US. But ìdí tí Kwara State ṣe ń struggle láti gbérí pẹ̀lú gbogbo ẹ̀ka tó ń bẹ níbẹ̀ tó jẹ́ 16 local government. Àbọ̀rọ̀mọ̀yẹ nísìn bishop ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ǹkan, so bishop dẹ̀ ti lọ, so ta ló fẹ́ gbé investment wá sílùú tí kò ní security? Kò sẹ́ni kankan tó fẹ́ gbé ní gbogbo tí Fẹ́mi Adésínà àbí Kúnmi sọ, it's not going to happen in reality. So investment doesn't come when there is insecurity and there's so many factors that investors look at. Àwọn kan máa wá bit by bit, they'll take the risk, and that means that wọ́n máa mitigate risk wọn. Tó bá lose 10 billion, wọ́n fi pé okay fine, but how do you bring an investor to Kwara State? But the current situation of things, federal ó yàtọ̀ sí state, but nǹkan kan ló combine wọn together, which is the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Though state náà ní laws there, not on thing don't pass. Ṣé state tó tẹ̀ ní airport tó function, tó yẹ pé flight kan máa lọ níjọ́ kan àbí kò ní lọ, there's just too many factors. But ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń sọ fún wa pé ẹ fẹ́ ká gba sovereignty tiwa pé ká wà ní Nàìjíríà, mo tún fẹ́ bi ní ìbéèrè kan based on ẹni tí ẹ nífẹ̀ẹ́. Ṣé Tinubu lè make 16 local government yẹn kó function kó tó di pò parí tenure, whether in 4 years tó ṣì ní lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́, another 4 years ò ti guarantee, èyí tó ní lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìnyí ló ṣì guarantee, the next 4 years is not yet guaranteed. Ìbéèrè tí mò ń bi wá lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ni pé ṣé Tinubu president yìí ìjọ possible láti ṣe kí ni, láti jẹ́ kí 16 local government yẹn kó ṣiṣẹ́? Let's take the next caller. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò ìyá wa.
Ẹ kú ọ̀lẹ́ o.
Ẹ rà mà.
Ó kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. Ẹ kú iṣẹ́.
Yes ma.
Yeah, my little contribution ni pé ṣe rí Nàìjíríà ó ti di ẹbọra bí everybody sìn. It's unfortunate pé ó di ẹbọra sí wa lọ́rùn bí àwọn Bishop Adesina ti sọ. Actually, it's our fault. Wọ́n ní àwọn bàbá ló jẹ àjàrà, ẹnu wa ń kan àwọn. That's the situation tìlú yẹn tó dé sìn. Èmi ò personally mi ò fi taratara blame British torí àwọn kan lọ fi tipátipá ń wà papọ̀. Before they did it for their economic reason. Fine. Nígbà tí Ghana gba independence, Queen offer us Southern Protectorate, which is Yoruba and the Igbo, the West and East, for our independence. àwọn bàbá wa ló sọ pé ó ti o àwọn dúró de àwọn bọ́dà àwọn Haúsá àti Fúlàní. Nígbà tá a dẹ̀ ti go with them, táwọn dẹ̀ rí pé they can be on top of us with the backing of the British. What's the problem? Láti ń bá káàkiri for a very long time. Fine. Ẹ wo gbogbo àwọn ìlú kéékèèké tí wọ́n tiẹ̀ tó half a million tó quarter of a million. They are doing very well ní àgbáyé. Àwa dẹ̀ sọ pé Nigeria is the biggest country. Big for what? Big for nothing. Kò sí nǹkan tó ń work in ìlú yẹn. Okay, Kwara state alone, only break down to so many countries. Those local governments only become a country of their own, which will be for the benefit of their people. Nígbà tí mo wo kíní ọ̀fà bí nǹkan kan yẹn, mo báyìí pé ṣé ìlú náà lè lè gbóyè ọ̀nà àfi ọba gbogbo ẹ̀ láti jà sí. Pé ìlú wa ṣì wà backward like that in this century is really a shame. Okay, budget tí Kwara state government ń propose kí ló fẹ́ fowó yẹn ṣe. They are going to do nothing with the money. Àwọn ìwọ̀nba kan náà ló máa lọ. Kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ jẹ kò sí nǹkan táwọn aráàlú yẹn fẹ́ benefit. The Kwara state people are not going to benefit anything. Ìyà tó ń jẹ wọ́n yẹn náà ló máa jẹ wọ́n. Bí sọ̀ráǹdì wọn ṣe rí dáradára yẹn ló máa rí. Tí Fúlàní ìwọ̀n pa yẹn náà ló máa continue. Changes will not come, to be honest. I don't see it coming. Sábàtì ẹ̀ lọ yáwó káàkiri àgbáyé. There's no much they can do. Nǹkan tó ti bàjẹ́ tipẹ́ ni. Àwọn èèyàn ọpọlọ wọn ti lọ sí pé kọ́ máa jáde. No matter the amount, ìlú yìí máa fún wọn lówó. But what are they going to do with the money? That's the question. Kò lè make a change at all. So, bọ́tà ń ṣe iná la máa ṣe. We will continue to push. Gbogbo àwọn tọkàn ń da movement yìí ni àwọn alálẹ̀ máa bá wa dín pẹ̀lú. We should continue. We will get there. It's going to be a matter of time, but àádébẹ̀ because kì í ṣe àwa nìkan tó bá jẹ́ àwa nìkan sí we say okay, it's going to take a while. It's going to be really difficult. For everybody, they are fed up. And the country is going to break. You break lẹ́rọ̀, I break lélẹ̀. But what Tinubu can do, which I'm just thinking, ó lè lo táìmù díẹ̀ kó wá wò pé pé kí a fún Daniel gan, let everybody go their way. Period. So that's my own dream about him.
So his visit to London in under 1 minute, kí lẹ fi pé only private meeting ni.
Private meeting. Èmi rò pé, well, not really private, it's about Nigeria.
Okay.
Torí àwọn British máa sọ pé ó jẹ́ Yorùbá o, because wọ́n rí push Yorùbá nation.
Okay.
Ó wà lára fún Tinubu débẹ̀.
Okay.
Wọ́n máa wá wò pé these people wọ́n máa press yẹn pé pín ìlú yìí. Possibly in my own head, wọ́n wò pé má jẹ́ kí ìlú pín o. You still have to hold on to this one Nigeria. Let's keep on pushing. Throughout your tenure, má jẹ́ kó torí ẹ̀ pín o. I think nǹkan kan máa fi sórí Tinubu nìyẹn. We're going to support you. We're going to front you. Má jẹ́ kó pín, hold on to one Nigeria.
Okay.
Because your people will listen to you and you can speak to your people. So hold them there in one Nigeria. Nǹkan tó fẹ́ sọ fún Tinubu nìyẹn, nothing more.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It seems mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn callers wa tí wọ́n ti pè láti bá wa dá sí. I think we have another caller from here in UK. Hello caller, ẹ ti wọlé, ẹ mute background.
Hello.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò bàbá wa.
Ẹ̀wọ̀n ẹni bínú ni mo máa dá yín padà sórí topic that you like. And topic yẹn ni wípé ẹni láti ṣe meeting ẹ̀yin dẹ̀ ń ṣe media lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation yìí ẹ ní láti stop àwọn wèrè gbogbo tó ń da movement yìí rú wọ́n ń wo program ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní ìjẹ́wá mú báyìí ẹ̀yin gangan ẹ ní láti máa ṣàkíyèsí ẹni yẹn travel lọ sí Turkey mo dẹ̀ rí àwọn picture ọ̀yọ́ rádaràda yẹn ìjìnlẹ̀ 419 ẹjọ́ dóko ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ read body language ìjìnlẹ̀ yẹn pé 419 nílé àwọn mo sọ́rí àwọn ọmọ tó bá lórí program yìí ẹ ti mọ̀ pé fake ni wọ́n ní ìjìnlẹ̀ yẹn that's why ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ yẹn fà ní kó bínú ó sì gbọ́dọ̀ lè sọ fún kò ní bínú because he was well trained for that 419 stuff kọ́ máa gbé yàn ní mugun ní wọ́n wọ́n lórí program wọn yìí kọ́ máa wá jáde á nìyẹn òun inú ń bí òun bí owó yẹn ò ṣe tètè táwọn yẹn ò ṣe tètè contribute owó òun fẹ́ ta léwu méjì ní ìlú àwọn bóyá black lion àbí ìmọ̀ èyí tó jẹ́ òun fẹ́ ta property òun méjì àwọn people kan da movement ìlú ni but ẹ fẹ́ give up on them ẹ má give up on them ẹ ní láti ṣe strategize bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa mú gbogbo kíní wọn yẹn wálẹ̀ yànyàn because they just keep wọ́n kàn send the wrong message táwọn èèyàn ó wọ́n jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn gan máa wò wípé movement yìí gan jàre tẹ́ bá tiẹ̀ ní wọ́n tó kàn ń pa lórí ẹ má jẹ́ kán lọ ẹ ní láti ṣe meeting kẹ́ wọ́n ti máa bring gbogbo kíní wọn yẹn down empire wọn yẹn down yànyàn because they were causing confusion. wọ́n ń sọ àwọn fẹ́ ta ìkọ́ lóun fẹ́ ta léwu ẹ ti wẹ́ pé àwọn 419 star yẹn ló ń lò òun fẹ́ ta property méjì nítorí movement yìí èèyàn kan ti yá wọn ní $20,000 wọ́n kàn ń kúrọ́ fáwọn èèyàn then àwọn pípù yẹn ẹ má jẹ́ kí n tọ̀ ẹ má jẹ́ kó padà sínú movement yẹn mọ́ ifù tí empire wọn bá mú empire wọn wálẹ̀ àwọn pípù yẹn ò wá láti àwọn ìjìnlẹ̀ àpò yẹn they are 419 dájú ẹ̀ ní wọ́n àwọn set àwọn gbẹ̀ngà àkànní àwọn làkà tó ń ṣe wọ́ṣíwọ́ṣí owó yẹn ni lọ́tírì yẹn àwọn yóò ṣe jẹ ní Yorùbá movement wọ́n kàn ń báyìí ẹ má gbà wọ́n wọlé mọ́ even kí gbogbo kìíní yẹn gan kọ́ tẹ̀ wá close down ẹ má gbà wọ́n wọlé movement mọ́ wọn ní nǹkan tó dáa àwọn ló ń da movement yìí ru àwọn ló ń dilé ẹ̀. ẹ má give up ẹ strategize ẹ ṣe meeting nígbà wọn láti bá empire àwọn bọ̀bọ̀ ìtàṣìmọ̀ àwọn pípọ̀ ìtàṣìmọ̀ wọ palẹ̀ ẹjọ́ ẹ ṣiṣẹ́ lórí ẹ ṣe meeting lórí.
no problem ẹ ṣe gan bàbá wa òun láti gbọ́ lẹ́nu kọ́là wa kan tí even though pé ń bọ̀ hello ẹ kálẹ́ o àwa nìyẹn ṣe fẹ́ dá sórí ètò ni all right okay ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Mo gbọ́ yín dáadáa ẹni kí ni ẹ.
Sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ irú ṣé kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ àti ìtọ́jú ẹ̀wá díẹ̀ dájú ó ní nǹkan ṣe pẹ̀lú Fúlàní.
Okay.
Whether àwọn ti yí padà àbí òyìn padà ẹ̀dùn ìwé òjì ìwé dẹ́nu.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni mo máa kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa even though it was not in our but again it's an open mic so and bàtà àbọ̀ bí táwọn èèyàn máa gbé wa gbà and even our voice want to talk about them because by talking about them we're still giving them a bit of publicity. Gbogbo eré àwọn èèyàn máa wind down. Ó kọ́ ẹ pé a lot of people will be pained by the time tí ó bá wind down tán. When the whole charade, the whole illusion tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ by the time tó bá máa fi come to an end. A lot of Yoruba people ló kàn máa fi pé báwo ló ṣe dé báyìí. I think our media is where they're working around the clock, tackling them. I don't want to burn as much energy with them because I've given a time frame. Fẹ́yìntì bá tẹ̀lé mi ní April. Ó rà pé mo ní April ní really sọ̀rọ̀ wọn kó tó di pa tó mention a bit of ní May. Tó bá máa fi the few more weeks, things will become in reality. Reality làwọn sọ, illusion làwọn discuss. I have focused on one state. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi dáadáa, wọ́n mọ̀ kọ́ wà lábẹ́ bíbá yìí náà because wọ́n fẹ́ wo níbo ni ìrìn àjò yẹn ń lọ sí as against in táwọn discuss. State kan ni mo ti discuss for 1 hour apart from asọ̀rọ̀ Tinubu there for 2 hours but mo make sure pé a ṣe lo 3 hours precisely the same. And kí ni state ta sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí mo tẹ̀ fi mention àwọn local government ẹ̀ kó tó di pé àwọn calls yẹn wọlé. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa 16 local government nínú state kan. Èèyàn kan dẹ̀ fi mú fabrication pé in táwọn raise yẹn ló máa resolve in tán raise yẹn gan kò tí ì ká àdúgbò kan nínú local government ẹyọ kan. Ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa. State fúnra rẹ̀ nísìn à ń sọ pé wọ́n make enough owó. Èló la break it down sí lẹ́ẹ̀kan my brother ní orí Instagram ní about $250 million or thereabout. So a whole state ó run the project state yẹn with about $250 million. Àwọn Ọláṣẹ́wù mo kí ẹ bàbá mi kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ gbogbo Ìjẹ̀bú-Òde. Ogun state pátápátá owó yín ló wà. Ẹ wá imagine kí òun jókòó sórí program ó ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa country bí gbàtẹ́ pé ṣé intan sọ yẹn ṣó ó lè wà materialize pẹ̀lú state kan kàmáì tí wàá sọ state méjì state mẹ́ta state mẹ́rin state mẹ́fà ṣé ó lè possible ṣá ó lè possible. Mo ẹ̀wọ̀n kan mo sọ pé Snoop doggy ni mí mo Snoop lórí ẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká gba kọ́ọ̀lì wọlé quickly. Hello caller.
Ẹ ṣeun bàbá.
Ẹ pa tibí tẹ fi ń gbọ́ wa yẹn ẹ má tún gbọ́ méjì.
Bámi kó ìjẹ́kúṣẹ́.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sà.
Ẹkúṣẹ́ takuntakun.
Àwa nìyẹn.
Láti yọ̀ǹda.
Mo ti gbọ́ ohùn yín.
Kò ní rẹ̀ yín bàbá wa.
Àṣẹdùmarè.
Yóò ní tì yín.
Àmín.
Ẹ ṣeun sà, mo ní pé kí n kí yín. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá náà ń gbọ́ ètò tí gbogbo wa ń gbọ́. The only solution, the only hope ta ní wọn náà ní Yorùbá nation náà nà kó ṣe bò. This so-called bàbá wa is just a trap for us and it's going to be a fool on us. Wọ́n lọ fi ìyẹn tan ìran Yorùbá. Ó ti ohun ìtúlẹ̀ ni a ti dánwọ́ lérè àjò yìí àdẹ̀gbọ́dọ̀ àṣẹ ẹ̀yìn. It's going to be a disaster for Yoruba race, for Yoruba people to look back. And to train, come out figure and do one destiny one.
Hey, network. Now, once the service is on area.
We are not talking of one person. We are not talking of one family. We are talking of millions of people, millions of Yoruba people all over. Àrò gbogbo wa pátá ọmọ Yorùbá dájọ́ ká jíjí òdodo. There is nothing than Yorùbá nation sovereignty state. Ọlọ́run adé fún wa ṣe.
Àmín Jésù. Àmín Jésù Kristi.
Kàmá kò sí negotiation kankan. The agreement tí bàbá tó wà ń bẹ̀ bá wọn sign òun náà ni wọ́n Nàìjíríà yẹn. Is the colonialism. Bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. So mistake yẹn ti wáyé. Ìran Yorùbá ti àwọn bàbá wa ti ṣe mistake yẹn.
Ká correct ẹ̀ nísìnyí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni which is what we are doing now.
Tó gbé bàbá Akíntóyè dìde, tó gbé Ìgbòho dìde, tó gbé yín dìde, tó gbé many people dìde. Ibẹ̀ dẹ̀ lọ́kàn wá wà pé already for this war. Ọlọ́run á dẹ̀ fún wa ṣe. So gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá bẹ́ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ ètò ìdálẹ̀ ìjọ. The only solution tá a ní gbogbo wa tá a wà ní home diaspora is Yoruba nation. They come back to spend another 20 years as mentioned, or 60 years, that one more time to pay another 60 years. By then, one years within these years, only our to get our láti ṣe anything by then. So náà ní orí ọ̀fẹ́ sìn àti láti jà pàtìpàtì láti tápá pẹ̀lú ní ara wa ń sìn láti ti gbìyànjú díẹ̀. We don't need to give up. Because lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta sí gbogbo nǹkan náà rí people behave is like, in fact, I was so surprised hearing from some media Yorùbá nation ti ṣe báyìí ó dáa. Mo ní my God. Ojú òní ti wà. We are going back like our father said. She said they go no going back. Like Baba Akíntóyè said no going back. Àwọn tó bá máa kù lákù síbẹ̀ láti rí pé orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá dúró. Ọlọ́run á dẹ̀ fún yín ṣe. Ẹ ṣeun sá. Ẹ ṣeun sá.
Thank you so much. And that will be our last call. And ilé ìgbà call kankan mọ́ because it's quite late now. It's almost 10 o'clock. I won't touch too much on that area, but we're going to come back to that maybe tomorrow. But all I can say, fáwọn tó ń gbọ́ wa, ẹ jẹ́ ká sáré wo àwọn local government tí a sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. A ní 16 local government ní Kwara State. A ní Asa, Baratun, Edu, Ekiti, Ìfẹ́lódùn, Ìlọrin East, Ìlọrin South, Ìlọrin West, Ìrẹ́pẹ́dùn, Ìsín, Kàìmá, Mòró, Ọ̀fà, Òkè-Àró, Ọ̀yún, Pàtìgì. Ṣé n tí aláyé yẹn sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí pé àwọn ṣiṣẹ́ fún nísìn ni pé gbogbo local government yìí náà ṣá wọ́n máa take control ẹ̀? Ṣé wọ́n lè take control local government ẹyọ kan? Ṣẹ̀rẹ́yìn tí à ń sọ fún pé process tẹ́yìn rò pé báwa ṣe ń sọ àti sọ this àti náà máa ṣe this kò tí rí bẹ́ẹ̀. 16 local government ló wà nínú Kwara State. Arákùnrin yẹn ẹni kò gba local government tiẹ̀ gangan jáde, kó kọ́kọ́ lọ gba local government ẹ̀ jáde kó tó máa sọ Kwara State. This is not a joke. In tá à ń ṣe intercurrent sọ tó dàbí pé ó dàbí joke tó ti fi sọ di joke, but because àwọn kan feel comfortable with such rhetorics, and there's nothing wrong in that. Kódà èdè kọ́ láwọn èèyàn ti ń sọ nǹkan tó dùn táwọn èèyàn fọ́ fún. And at the end of the day, one day, before we know, those people will get the message. So to them, even $1 million will project. Kí ni wọ́n fẹ́ fi $1 million wọ́n fẹ́ fi ra bọ́n? Really? So $1 million will be able to buy a weapon and protect everybody in a 16 local government in Kwara State. No, mo ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní o. Ṣé wọ́n need $1 million láti fi project nǹkan kan? That $1 million yẹn lásán kò tí wà enough láti fi hold a whole local government. Kàmáì tí wàá sọ 16 local government in Kwara State. I don't think they understand what we are dealing with. Maybe to them, they've just turned it to a Netflix. And like I always say, kò sí script nínú nǹkan táwọn ṣe. We are talking based on fact and evidence. I've told you, whether you like it or not, if you still be part of those that are there, tó lọ jókòó tí wọn, ó kàn ń wo Netflix ni. That's all I can say, because it has become Netflix. And I'll give you another 2 evidence before I go. Mo gbọ́ tí àlàyé yẹn, tó àlàyé ni, Gaiman gidi ni. Ó sọ nínú program ẹ̀ lánàá pé over 100,000 gbọ́hùn lórí rédíò ẹ̀. Mo dẹ̀ lọ sórí rédíò yẹn which is the same thing tẹ́mi náà ń lò ní bíbá tá à ń pè ní ẹ mọ̀ pé wà ní máa ní mixella èèyàn 5 ló wà níbẹ̀ wàláì nígbà tí mo ṣe recording yẹn wà lọ́wọ́ mi mò ń bọ̀ òpùrọ̀ ló máa ní mo ní láti stop Twitter yẹn mo record ẹ̀ ó wà lọ́wọ́ mi mo wá lọ record kí lẹ rí ó sọ pé Ìjìnlẹ̀ FM in tó ń pè ní radio station lélẹ̀ fáwọn ọmọ Yorùbá in tí ó ń pè fún radio station òun lẹ̀ ń wò níwájú mi mo mọ̀ pé kámẹ́rà yẹn ò ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bọ̀ màá ṣọ́ ẹ̀ fún yín properly later tá a bá wà lórí software mo dídì lọ record ẹ̀ nígbà tí mo record ẹ̀ yẹn èèyàn 30 listeners ó dẹ̀ sọ ní orí live show pé èèyàn 100,000 ló ń gbọ́ mo kíyà tó bí mi lọ́mọ ẹ ti wọ one chance pẹ̀lú àwọn gaima òun eléyìí méjì ni mo record eléyìí show ó drop and mbọ.
Àwọn tó wà ní orílẹ̀-èdè wọ́n wá sórílẹ̀-èdè wa láti máa mú lọ́sọ́dọ̀ wọn.
Ẹ gbọ́ pé sáà orúkọ voice ẹ̀ ló ń jáde. Mbọ ẹ jẹ́ ìjọ ti dáadáa wọn jáde. Don't give impression tí kò sí níbẹ̀. Number one, this is a mixed LR. Mixed LR. Let me explain how that works for you. You can just type it on Google yourself. Mixed LR is a simple way to share a live audio online, broadcast using any source, and invite others to listen. It only costs about $20 every month. And tó bá ṣe 24 hours is $49.99. $19.99 ni mo ń san. Mo dẹ̀ rántí nígbà tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lo Mixed LR yẹn, I think ó ti lọ bí almost 2 years nísìn. Like I said, I will leave it to the mind of those of you that believe in them. I want you can believe in one, but one local government fún yín nínú 16th mo dárúkọ ní Kwara, and that is how far I can go tonight. Thank you so much for everyone that have joined us. My name is Olami Koiki. Kélédùmarè kó tún ṣọ́ wa di ọ̀la lágbára Ọlọ́run. Mo kí ọmọdé, mo kí àgbàlagbà, mo kí arúgbó. Yoruba nation is not going back. Mr. Fabini, that is why he cannot get upset. No matter what you say to him, he was trained as a guy man. How can you say 100,000 is listening when it's indicate there? Ní life tó ń ṣe yẹn ní pé 30. Because bí ṣe gbọ́ lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ tó sọ mo lọ sórí Google, mo type in orúkọ Mixed LR name yẹn, ó gbé jáde, and I did a recording. Ó dẹ̀ the date. Tí mo record. Computer rẹ̀ ń parọ́. And the question is, why telling lies? But ẹni tó ń parọ́ fún yẹn, ó máa sú gbogbo yín láìpẹ́. Tó bá ti wá sí, ẹ wá ṣe come back to your sense. Yoruba nation continue in terms of bilateral negotiation, whatever is going to take. Tó bá dẹ̀ ṣe pé gbogbo yẹn ò nígbà, a lọ sí whatever is going to take to get ourselves out. But pé a máa give up lórí ìrìnàjò yìí, ìrọ̀lẹ́ pa, àwa dúró pẹ̀lú Yoruba nation. No other thing. Yoruba nation is a conversation Monday to Sunday. Kò sẹ́ni other thing. Káfí sọ, ìyẹ̀wáyà Allah láìpẹ́ lẹ́yìn tẹ́wà níbẹ̀. Guy man ni bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn, wọ́n project another area. But actually hold the information tí ẹ máa fi mọ̀ pé lóòótọ́ in tí ìkejì wọn ṣẹ̀sìn tó ń sọ jáde yẹn, ẹ jẹ́ kí yẹn túbọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ síta dáadáa. Àwọn other media wọ́n ń ṣe analysis lé lórí, èmi ò ní time yẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ kó túbọ̀ ó fẹ́ pọ̀ ó sì ń pọ̀ ni ẹ jẹ́ kó pọ̀ dáadáa tó bá pọ̀ délẹ̀ tán àwa máa mú ṣà nínú ẹ̀. Like I said, we are watching, but they are not going to disturb the movement because they are irrelevant. Wọ́n dá wọn mọ̀ rárá ní Ọ̀fà local government, which is one of the 16 local government in Kwara State. Have a very good evening, and let us say Oran Yolamasun, Yoruba Nation for life. Thank you so much. Iṣẹ́ wà orílẹ̀-èdè àgbéga ìgbàgbọ́ láti bí ẹrú ká ṣiṣẹ́ ìṣọ̀kan nìkẹ́jẹ́ tẹ̀síwájú ọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun ẹ̀yin ọmọ Odùduwà bọ́ sí ipò ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ Shalom ògo adélayọ̀. Think Yoruba first. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn bàbá wa pátápátá Elédùmarè á bá mi hold yín dáadáa. Ẹ láwọn ọmọ tó dúró dáadáa, energy wà lára tiwa, kò síbi kankan tó ń lọ. Tá bá ti sùn, tá bá ti jí, inú ẹ̀ là ń sùn, là ń jí. Blood life wa ní Yoruba Nation. Ẹ fi wọ́n lẹ̀, ó máa tó sú wọn. Gbogbo àwọn tó sá lọ yẹn, wá padà wálé, ó kù díẹ̀ ni. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà tẹ́ wà lórí ètò. Mo kí pátápátá. Ẹni tí ì bá dárúkọ, ẹ má fi ṣèbínú. I love you all. Oran Yolamasun. Lecture wa lọ́la o, ẹ má gbàgbé, kọ́lọ́n kó jí wa rí o. Ó dàárọ̀, bye for now.